joining me for Craft With Me on Fridays. We're going to be working in the Halloween journal that I'm making Halloween. You could make them fall or any other kind of theme, but so we're going to continue working on that. I have the room set up today for some mixed media play, which I know we did a lot of on Saturday. I just have a couple of projects that I want to do with you guys that we didn't get to on Saturday. So we're going to do what that. Sorry, I keep looking up there. It wasn't showing that I was live yet on YouTube. So I guess there's a little bit of lag today. Sorry about my hair. It's kind of crazy today. So we're going to work on that. We're going to continue to play in the journal. I want to make some page spreads today. That is the goal at the end of this live, is to at least be able to complete one page spread. We'll see how far we get. I actually forgot my readers out there, so I'm going to need to run and grab those because I can see comments popping in, but reading them is extremely difficult. So I will go and grab my readers in just a minute. Let me say hello to, I can see the names because the names are always showing up in bold. Hello, Helen. Helen is first in today. Hello, hello. Ria and Jennifer, hello. And then we've got Joanne. Hello, Joanne. Hello. Hello, Credence Kalari. Hello, hello. Lacey Jane is here. Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I am feeling a little bit better. My fever was gone yesterday, but then I had one again this morning. So we'll see how it goes. I am set to take my son to the ER for his issues on Monday or Tuesday at the very latest. I'm thinking Monday. So I did send a bunch of invoices and I have everything packed. Credence Kalari, your package is packed. I just need to send your invoice. I will get to that tonight because my goal is, if you guys get your invoices paid, if you got an invoice today and you pay your invoice, then your packages can leave in the morning. Tomorrow morning is Saturday morning. So that might be the last day that I can ship before my son goes in the hospital. If they actually admit him, which I'm not sure that they will or won't. They're supposed to based on his primary care doctor, but I'm not sure if they will. So if you could please check your email either tonight or tomorrow morning at the very latest, early in the morning tomorrow, because I go live at 7 a.m. my time. So I need to have all the packages for the mailman ready to be picked up before 7 a.m. in the morning. That might be the last time I ship before my son goes in the hospital. If he does get admitted in the hospital, he should be there for several days. So I won't be able to ship again until he's home, unless I can work out a different plan. But for right now, it kind of looks like I might be not able to ship until we come home. So however long he's there. So I haven't invoiced you, Credence, but I'm going to invoice you tonight. It's packed. It's just needing the invoice built. And it's several, I think we've got several items from several sales in there. So I know you're waiting on it. So everything should be invoiced. That's my goal. Everything except for the Italian paper sheets, I believe, have been invoiced, except for there's a couple people with some, like one sheet of paper or like one antique document. And we talked about this last week, that it's not really feasible to ship one single document because shipping is too much money. So there's a couple of those that were just small orders that I held because shipping was going to be too expensive. All of the large sheets of Italian paper, they have not been invoiced. If you bought like file folders or something else with Italian paper, those needed to ship separately because Italian paper is going to be rolled. Unless you just got a couple sheets, then it will be folded. But just to make myself clear, everything but the large sheets of Italian paper should have been invoiced at this point, unless you're just one of the very few that will be invoiced tonight. It's my goal to have everybody invoiced tonight for everything except for Italian paper. I'm planning on doing Italian paper over this weekend. If I can get to the Italian paper and get everybody's Italian paper situated in their boxes and packed, I will go ahead and invoice you for it. And then I will make arrangements to have those taken to the post office on our way to the hospital on Monday morning. I'm not sure exactly how that will work yet, but if you get an invoice for Italian paper, just know that your paper is packed and ready to go. And if you pay that invoice as soon as you can, I will drop it off and make sure that it gets there by Monday morning, as long as I am able to get that far with Italian paper. The only way to do Italian paper is to do everyone's Italian paper at the same time. It's not a product that I can just do like this person's Italian paper, but not this person's. Every single person, and there's 50 something buyers of Italian paper that night. So all of those people have to have all of their paper sorted and all of their packages packed, and then all those invoices sent, and then all those packages to the post office, based on who paid. So anyway, I just want you guys to know that because I was feeling better yesterday and I'm feeling better today, I have been able to work all day today to kind of catch us up. So stuff from Tuesday has been invoiced. There were two people, Helen and they're double name people. They're people where we have two, like I have two Helens, and Helen H and Helen McLean. I have accidentally crossed some items over, so I will need to situate that tonight as well. And then there was one other person that also has a double name that I need to rewatch my video and put the right person's things together. The double names do throw me for a loop. They are getting really hard to situate everyone's stuff out, but there's just a couple of those that need done. Oh my gosh, it is hundreds of pounds of paper to move. Those boxes are so big and they're so heavy. But anyway, it's not the paper, it's not the weight that throws me for a loop. It's the only way to do it is to sort out, you know, like just say there's 25 sheets of each pattern, but there's in total, we're like 70 something patterns now. So between sorting out 25 sheets through 70 different patterns into 50 something boxes, it just logistically, you have to have enough room to do that. And since these sheets of paper are so giant, they just, it takes like the whole house to be able to do it basically. So anyway, we're working on all of that. I just am trying to get everything wrapped up that has been sold before we go. The only thing that is iffy is the large sheets of Italian paper. There's a bucket in the hallway of all kinds of small little things. I may just go ahead and invoice those people for that one sheet of paper that I didn't today, just because I'm not sure what's going to happen, how long we're going to be at the hospital, whatever that case may be. So if you get an invoice and it's just like, you know, you bought one document for $20, just know I'm doing it that way because I don't want to leave you and it hanging without having a definitive date of when we will be back and when I will be able to pick up working again. So that's what's happening. I'm sorry to go through all of that business here in the beginning, but most of you guys who joined me right here in the beginning are part of the lifestyle group. So that's kind of like news for that part. If you're not part of the lifestyle group and none of this applies to you, we're going to start working on a Halloween journal here in just a few minutes. It is based off of an antique bingo card that I use. It's an oversized bingo card that I'm using for the covers, the front covers of the journal. I constructed a back cover out of other materials. I played with a lot of mixed media on last Saturday's Craft With Me. There will be another Craft With Me live at 7 a.m. my time. I'm in Arizona, so it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning. And so we're just going to work through some mixed media play today and then hopefully get to making a page spread. And then in the morning, we'll pick it up wherever we left off today and continue to work through the journals. I know most of you guys are super patient. I haven't gotten anyone who like was complaining about this side of my hair today. It's just, it's like I have a little bump right there. Anyway, so most of you guys, like no one has sent me an unhappy message about it. I'm just stressing because I want to make sure that things are taken care of before I leave, because if like we're there for a week, I just don't want it to be like people needed things, they were waiting on things, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get it done. It'll make me feel better to get it done too. It'll give me less stress while I am there. The plan is, while I am there sitting with him, that I will be able to craft also. I don't know if I will, but the plan is I will bring some things, obviously very, very limited things, because the hospital rooms are very tiny, but I will be able to be making something, and it might be possible I could post some pictures in the Facebook group of things I'm working on while I'm there. It might not be anything like, I'm sure it won't be anything exciting, because like I said, I can't bring my whole craft room with me, and be very limited space to craft in. But I do plan on bringing some things. Kendall's desperate for her pincushion lady. Well, things are shipping in the morning. So Kendall, you're in California and I'm in Arizona. So you should get yours first before anyone else gets things. But anyway, that's the plan. That's what's going on. Shall we get started working on some junk journal things? I needed the craft with me today. I really did. So no, you're fine, Kendall. I get it. It's fine. It works out nicely when you guys are located in California, because shipping is cheaper, but B, the shipping speed is usually like 1 to 2 days. So that's always nice. So I'm going to go get glasses. I see Rhea is making, oh, it's like Christmas morning. I'm like, she's making, you see me squint. She's making Christmas. No, she says it's like Christmas morning. That's awesome. 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 Kendall, oh, Joanne got her pin cushions. That's so cute. I have to reach over a bunch of stuff again because the room is crowded. So to get to my mouse, it's all the way over here. My short little arms can't do it. So let me go grab some glasses and then let's get started. I'm going to flip the camera down and we can talk about what I'm going to be playing with in case you guys want to get the same things out and play along with me. So I brought in, these are the oxides. I did not purchase the regular sprays, the stains yet, but these are the oxides. I'm going to be dropping some onto some paper to use as pages in my journal. It's basically just going to be like little droplets, I'm hoping, for pages. This is just adding a background layer to the page. I also brought in embossing powder and some stamps so that after we get this step done with distress sprays, if you have a dropper, this is a glass dropper, like, you know, like science lab glass dropper, I don't know. I'm going to drop the oxide onto the paper with this. And then after we get this done and it dries, I want to put some embossed, you know, stamps on here. And it's just background layers. I'm not going to emboss everything, but some of the stamps I do want to emboss on there. I have a nice big spider web stamp, so I want to use that. So that's kind of what I'm going to get started with first. If you want to pull some of those out, if you don't have like this kind of a dropper thing, you can just unscrew the top and kind of flick it on there. I could not find my Tim Holtz splatter brush. I don't know what happened to it. It's probably in my paper dyeing tub, but I couldn't find it. So splattering would work too. If you have paints, they will work. If you don't have the oxide sprays, paints will work. Basically, we're just putting down background layer for the pages. And these are my writing pages, these the coffee dyed ones. And this is some of that, it's called handmade paper, but I don't know if it's really handmade or whatever. It's from Amazon. I think it comes from China, but it is a nicer, like, I'm not going to say it's nice, but it's thicker. I don't like this paper. It says handmade paper and the pictures make it look one way, but when you get it, it's, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's quite thick. So I'm going to put it in there as pages. It might be nice to play on with other mixed media for the people who buy these journals, but I would not buy this paper again, is my point. I just happen to have it. You'll see that this one has kind of like inked edges. It's really, really low quality paper. from Amazon. I'm not like necessarily trying to knock it. I'm just letting you guys know, like, don't rush out and buy this if you don't already have it. My recommendation would be to use a better quality paper. This is basically like, some of you may or may not like this analogy, but kind of similarly, kind of like toilet paper. The texture and the feel is like a bunch of layered up toilet paper. And it may actually be toilet paper. I have no idea, but that's what it feels like. It's definitely not artist quality by any stretch of the imagination. But I think I have it, so I'm going to just use some of it as a couple of pages in the journal. It might be nice to play on. The watercolor things I've done with it was not really best results, but for splattering, and then maybe if the person who buys these journals, maybe if they have a dip pen, it might be okay to write on there. I don't know. It's thicker paper, but it's definitely not good quality. So anyway, we have that to play with. And then I have a bunch of copy dyed cardstock that I've been using for pages. So I'm going to splatter some of that, and then we'll cut this all down to size of pages. I'll see how these ones come out. I don't, again, not good quality paper, but we're just going to use it because I have it. So that's what I'm going to get started with. Let me run and grab my glasses so I can look at comments. I'll be right back. Okay, I have readers now. I can actually see comments. Okay, let me go back to my hellos. Somebody says they've been, oh, Kendall has been coffee dyeing her Halloween papers all morning. That's awesome. Thank you, Helen. I just need to sort out your stuff. Let's see what else is going on. Ria's unpacking her packages. That's cool. Scanning. Awesome. Scanning for me takes forever. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining. Hello. Okay, let's get started then. I did bring in this splat box so that I can just like drop my stuff on there if I need to. I don't know that we need a splat box. Let's just kind of see how it goes without one. And then I brought these papers in to lay the other papers on to dry in case they get super messy. I don't know if they will, but I might just go ahead and do this flat box. And then I know I told you guys that I was going to show you the mixed media things we did last week. Do you guys, like, they're the same. I didn't do anything with them. This is from last Saturday. This pile, goodness. This pile is from last Saturday. So we still have all of these things to play with, and I might be able to drip some of the oxide sprays over those embossed papers. And then these are embossed papers. This is all paste stuff that we put through stencils. So there's plenty of other fun things to play with. And as I need tags or whatever, journal cards, I can pull those out. But then this is the stuff that we did last Saturday. So that was just like inky cleanup. We did some little backgrounds on tags. I did post close-up pictures because I think it is hard to see how these really look in real life. So I did post close-up pictures in the Facebook group. So this was that black crackle paste. It's one of my favorite things for this journal. But anyway, so there's a whole bunch of this stuff and background pages that can be cut up and whatever. But I didn't do anything else with it. So I'm just going to leave it in this bin for right now. And I want to make sure that we run some, where's the Braille paper? I want to make sure that we run some ink over some Braille paper too. Because I think that I mean, it's kind of like embossed paper, so I think that might look cool. So we'll work with some of these things today. I think I am going to use the splat box just because I think it's here and why not? And my splat box is a pizza box. We talked about that. So here is the splat box. It was a clean pizza box when I started with it. You can get a pizza box anytime you go and like pick up a pizza. I just ask them for an extra box. And then I use it until the ink starts coming through on the back of the box. So I'm just going to leave it open like this and use what we've got going on in here. And the very first thing I want to do is just kind of splatter some of it onto some coffee dyed paper. I'm not really looking for runny at this point. I really just want drops. And so I did pre-shake all of these, but they've been laying here for like half an hour. So let's shake all of them up. This ball isn't. There it goes. So I'll shake them all up again. And then because I'm going to drop them, like you could use the little applicator and just flick it. You could use that splatter brush that Tim Holtz has. You could use a paintbrush. You could do any kind of thing you want. I have the dropper, so we're going to use the dropper. We'll see if it makes too big of splatters. I might change my mind. So those are all shaken up. And then the next thing I want to do is go ahead and I'm going to do it 2 colors at a time. So I just removed the whole sprayer out of it. And then I'm going to drip from here. And you don't need a whole lot. And I'm just going to drip, drip, drip. And if you want a smaller drip, go closer. And if you want a larger drip, go further away. So I'll do some further. And I may just want to do like little touches to get some small drips. And then we probably will splatter some black or something over the end of it, but I don't want too much, but this is a good start. And then just some little, just some little ones, she says, as she does a big one. Okay, so I didn't bring a cup of water in, which would have been really advisable, but we're just going to do the best we can. And if I get cross-contamination, what I do have is my sprayer, because you do need to kind of rinse it out. But I do have my sprayer, so I'm just going to use that to kind of rinse in. Perfect. That will work. So then the next, so that was carved pumpkin. I didn't tell you the colors. This one is ground espresso. I like how that's splattered, so I might try to duplicate that a little bit. See how I'm just getting those little flecks? That's when the dropper is basically out of color. I hope you guys can see that. So that's working out really well. Ooh, that was good. I don't want too much more of this. And then I'm going to go the dark. Oh, it was perfect. Can you hear it's out of water, or it's out of liquid inside of it? So it's just the air kind of splattering against it. And that is making the little tiny flecks. So that looks really cool, like that. Let me get my nozzles back in. Well, I don't know. Let me get them back in before. I don't want to confuse which color is which and also spell them. So let me get these back in for a sec. Let's do some green. And on this page, I'm not going to do purple and I'm not going to do black. Rinse that. This water is going to get super muddy super quick. A little cross-contamination in oxides is probably okay. Not going to stress about it. But this one is just going to be the ground espresso. It's a lot of green. Just the ground espresso and carved pumpkin. And what is this one? This one is mowed lawn. So I'm just putting this background down, and then afterwards I can emboss. Ooh, I can emboss. I can stamp. really want that. So that's probably good. I don't want too terribly much. I'll go with some littles just because it's here. I think I want maybe just a little bit more orange, and then I'm going to call this good. So let me grab my orange again. If you guys have a different method for putting down color, that's all good too. The easiest way probably is to flick. Ooh, there's a lot of orange. And I'm trying to keep in mind that I want to cut this down. So I am trying to kind of get every color in every quarter of the page because I'm going to have to cut it in. So let me leave this in the orange and let me kind of hit this with some heat, I think. And then I'll move it. Maybe, let me just see how the running looks. We have quite a bit that is liquidy, so let me just kind of see how the running looks quick on this one. Rather than just drying it straight away, that's what we've got. I like it. If you had some circles, some cups, a lid off something, you could make some circles. You could, use a stencil or something. But again, I just want this battery kind of look. So I'm going to set this one off to dry. Set it right there for now. And then let's do another one of those. And let's do a different colorway. So I've got orange down there. I do not care about it being on the back of the paper. If it's on the back when I'm done, all the better. Let me go ahead and do the orange. And I did bring in black also. So it's kind of coming out a lot right now, and that's okay. I'm just being messy, and I encourage you guys to be messy too. When you try to do too perfect, it doesn't look as good, in my opinion. Okay, let me rinse that. This water is super murky at the moment. Let me do this green because it's here and it's open. So if you just do the flick method of this, you can get spatters, but I think it just takes a lot longer. It's just a different look. And you can flick it also, but I mean, flick the little stopper. I'm not trying to get my hands messy at the moment. But this is this look. It just takes a lot longer to get that color down there. And then you might want to keep in mind, like, I've got some orange and some green here kind of mixing together. Any type of red orange mixed with green will normally turn into brown. So keep in mind, if you get too wet and too mixy, you might end up with something that you didn't intend. And right now I've kind of stuck all of my paper, all of my color on the inside of my paper. Just kind of something to keep in mind. I need to spread it out to the outside edge too. Let's go some purple on this one. Messy crafters? Yes, you can. Messy is fun. In a controlled environment. You guys know I'm not like truly messy, but in this application, just play with the splatters. Some of the little yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yes, it is. And then, like I was saying, I don't want all of my edges to be plain, so I'm going to try to move some color out there. That's probably enough purple. I am going to have to rinse that purple a little bit at least. My water's super muddy. I'm just going to go with it. And then what if we did some black on this one? Black is one of those ones, since it's an oxide, it normally just comes out gray, whatever you do to it. So it will be more of a gray when it's dry. Ooh, get what you get, right? So this is obviously a lot, and I'm going to call that one good. And I'm going to leave that black in there so we can play with it again. Now this one, I don't really think that I want it all to run everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dry it. There is some bigger dots that might take a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and dry that. So let me grab the dryer. Actually, let me plug both of these in at the same time. I should have did it ahead of time, but you know. Let me crawl under the desk quick and plug both of these in. And hopefully not spill anything while I'm down there. Okay. So let me dry this one quick, and then we'll move on to one of the other paper products. I'm not going to dry it all the way. I just want to dry it to where these dots don't run quite as much as they are right now. I like how the oxide is kind of mixing with the coffee dye that's already on this paper. I really like that. Hello, hello, Day Trip Vintage Company. Hello, hello. Let me hit some of these big ones, and I'm going to have to dot some of it off. I just don't want it to run. If I get a little smudge, that's okay. Just some of those big ones. Yep, smudge is okay. You can kind of pick it up with like the corner. Okay, I'm going to set this one to dry. Yeah. So much for staying clean. Okay. There's that one. And I'm going to set it right on top of the other one. And honestly, if I get some bleed through, that's better because the back side is just regular coffee dye. Let's try some of this weird paper. Since we had black out, let's go ahead and go with some black first. Now, keep in mind, it's been sitting there and it hasn't really gotten shaken up. See how, if you were thinking of using it for watercolor, I don't know if you guys can see, but see how when you drop the drop, it kind of sits on the surface. It is not at all absorbed into the paper. So this one, I kind of went back and forth a little shakety way. It's not absorbing into the paper at all. So we're going to get what we get out of this one. It may just end up being like, ooh, grungy background. I really like the sprays, the splatter like sideways like that. Okay, we got plenty of black on there. Let's do this one a little more spooky and just stay with the black and the brown on it. These are just backgrounds. Should I try some yellow on there? Like mustard seed? I wonder because it's already kind of a yellow color of paper. Let's see. And then brown. I want to keep the black in there for the brown, so I'm just going to try to flick this way. I like this one also because it went off the edge better. So the flicking back and forth, definitely a better technique for me. Okay, the brown. Let's try flick it. Yeah, splat box was a good idea. So since we have it going that way, okay, this is enough. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and dry quick. Let me just kind of start it drying, and then I'll dab the rest of it off. And let me turn my monitor so I can actually pay attention to what's being said. Well, Credence Clary, there's Braille paper right here. If you just remind me during my next live sale, or I can add it to your order now if you just message me. It's 10 sheets of Braille paper. It came from children's storybook pages. And I don't know what we normally sell 10 sheets of Braille paper for. I think we might do like $10 or something like that. So if you want 10 sheets for $10, you could just private message me. And that goes for anyone. I don't want to do like, I don't want this to turn into a live sale. So if you want it, just private message me. And I'll put it in the package if you have an existing package that hasn't been like sealed up yet. So let's go ahead and kind of get some of this off. I am feeling better. I had a fever this morning, but I didn't have one at all yesterday. So, you know, I don't know. It just is what it is. A faster way of getting up my big drops. And since I'm not really like dabbing the paper, it doesn't really transfer as much. And if it did, it would just be the dots. So there's that. I don't know if you guys can even see the yellow, but we just kind of put a background on. I think that would be really cool with another stamp also. So let's put that one up to dry. And let's try a different color of that weird paper. And then we'll do some Braille. Put that up there. Okay. I'm going to go right into the brown. Am I? No, I'll rinse. I'll be good. I really just wanted to put the black in there. Okay. Scorched Timber would be a good one too if you have that color. I don't have that color, but this is more of a rusty color on the paper. Ooh. Yeah, we got some all right. These things are called glass pipettes. If you look on Amazon, you can find glass pipettes on Amazon. For this one, I'm going to try Shabby Shutters. We haven't used that color yet. And then I think orange. The Shabby Shutters is just a little bit more of a limey color green. I'm just being super messy with it just to get it done quick. And so because this paper feels like cottony, like toilet paper, I would think that the inks would really absorb into it, but they are not. They are sitting on the surface. So again, I don't know whether it'll go in the journal. I was hoping it would. We'll see. Did I close all these? I don't want to like try to shake one and then have the lid be off. That would be terrible. So this one would work for fall journals also. It's nice fall colors. There's no black or purple in it. Just takes so long this way. So I like that. However, I'll be good and I'll stop. I was going to add more. Okay, let me get this. Let me dry it for a minute. It just, I think it absorbs slightly better in the paper if you just don't fast. Like if you're not too quick to get your little drops up, I think if you heat set it a little bit, the color stays more and then you can soak up the big drops after. So let me get that done for a minute. You love the towel? All of these are awesome. If you use baby wipes, they usually hold up. Paper towels don't really hold up that well, but you can craft with the baby wipes, definitely. The slinging look, me too. I'm going to do another cardstock like that. And then we'll do the Braille paper, and then I'll do one more cardstock, and then we'll wrap up this kind of experiment, and we'll move on to something else. Now, if you were doing like a gory kind of Halloween journal or something a little more spooky, you could certainly use red, and it could be like blood splatters. My Halloween journal is not that kind of a theme. While it's Halloween, it's more kitty Halloween. So anyway, I'm not going to do blood splatters, but you certainly could if that was what you were doing. Okay, let's get the rest of these. And I'm just going to go right back with that one. See how useful the pizza box is, though? You get it now? Some people were like, what is she doing with the pizza box? I have the Tim Holtz splat box. We talked about this last week. And I'm sure, you know, I like it. It's all great and everything. But sometimes the pizza box is just bigger, first of all. So there's kind of how that one came out. And again, with some stamps over it, I think it'll be great. And then you can write on the other side. So it's not, I mean, you could write on this, but it's a little bit much maybe for writing. Okay, so there's those two. Let's play with some Braille paper. And then let's put some, while we have this here, over some of the embossed paper. So I'm going to find the side that has the most bumps on it, which is this side. Ideally, I'm going to want this to run, but I think I'm going to spray it. So let me attempt to sit this box up more where you guys are going to be able to see me spray it against the backdrop. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to stand up my Braille paper kind of like that so that you guys can see it spray and run down. And I'm hoping that it runs over the bumpies and looks pretty, but we'll see how it looks. And you just want to be careful, like, again, mixing green with things or orangey or reddy colors. You just need to be careful that you don't create a bunch of mud. We'll see what it comes out to be. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and spray now with the purple, the Dusty Concord. Let's just see. And so I kind of want to get like a runny area. There we go. I mean, I'm putting quite a bit on. I'm also going to have to water it down, and all I have is mud water right now. So, you know, that's something. Let me grab a baby wipe for my purple fingers now. My fingers were so disgustingly dirty after last Saturday, so stained, that I scrubbed my kitchen sink and then they were all better again. Every time my hands are really stained and dirty, I just pick the most abrasive, like scrubby task of cleaning my house and do that, and then my hands are clean and I have a clean sink now. So I'm not sure if you guys can see, but the Braille looks beautiful. See how the Braille, like the actual dots are popping up? It looks beautiful. Yes, I do. It's right here, and it's what I was mixing all of or rinsing my pipette with. So it's muddy right now, but that's okay. I can still spray it. I don't care about the mud. I'm gonna mix in some orange and some green, I think. I think we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. So let me go with orange. And I really don't want any white paper on this. We may need to add more here in a second. Let's let that go for a minute. Let's get our green, I know, right in there. I love the way the Braille pops up. You can see the Braille showing through a lot, which is great. And I'm just going to go down here with the rest of this purple. I am leaving some areas of run, but not a lot. This one is mustard seed, and it's going to run right over that purple. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay. So let's go down here then. Hopefully I didn't just erase you guys, but I'm trying to hit that bottom area. I'm also tasting Distress Oxide. A little too much spraying here. A little too much. It's misting everywhere. I want my purple back a little bit. There we go. And then right down here, I think I'm going to do more orange. And then I have an entire Braille paper that is just soaked with this. And I kind of erased my runs. My runs, that sounds terrible. I'm going to try to run this. It is. Okay, it's running over my orange. And I'm going to try to run this purple down over this green without creating mud. But we'll see what we get. There we go. Okay, so let me hit this with a dryer quick. Oh my goodness. And let me run the dryer over this quick just to kind of set it where it's at, and then I will lay it down. It actually came out beautiful, and I can see myself doing this with a bunch of pastel colors in like a shabby chic journal also. So definitely want to do this again. I'm going to start drying up here. The Braille bumps look beautiful. And so I only take apart books, Braille books, that are meant for incineration. So the place that I get my Braille paper from, they get the Braille books from, they're discarded from libraries. And they're discarded for a number of reasons, but mostly because there's like a page missing or torn out, or maybe there's some damage or some dirt or something like that. Somebody might have spilled something on a couple of pages. So the books that I take apart that are Braille, I don't just go and buy Braille books and take them apart, because Braille books are kind of hard to find for the people who need them, and they're also expensive. So I want to make sure that I'm, you know, if I'm going to craft with Braille, I want to make sure that I'm not taking away a book that someone else who might need it to read. You know, I want to make sure I'm using the ones that are meant for recycling, basically, or not recycling necessarily. They incinerate them. Honestly, most books get incinerated instead of recycled. And that doesn't make a lot of sense because they're paper, right? You would think that they would want to recycle them. But they have told me that the energy that it takes to recycle them, the energy that it takes to recycle them, it's kind of, it damages the planet more than just incinerating the book, if you can believe that. That's what they tell me. I'm not sure. And then they also say that there's so much paper that needs to be recycled that is available for the recyclers like to buy and use recycled product, that they can't use it all. So that's why they incinerate it. So this is our page. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I want to do it again. I'm not going to do another one right this second, but I love it. It came out so pretty. Now, ideally, I might have ran another color over this top section so it could be more, I'm sorry about the camera. I will stop moving it and hold it closer. But I love how it kind of dripped over. And I love how the bumps You guys, I don't know if it's too close now or what, but the bumps definitely got enhanced. It kind of does look like it would glow, but no, it won't. And the back page, back page just has a little soak through. You can't really write on Braille, so I don't really care what the back looks like. We're going to go with this page for now, and that's basically dry other than that bottom edge. So that's fine. That's how Braille looked. I don't think we're going to do any more Braille, but before I continue with anything else, I need to do a little cleanup here. I don't know if you guys can see how much is on the desk, but there's a whole big bunch on the desk. So, actually, I wanted to run some over some embossed paper quick. So it'll look just like the Braille, but let's do it quick because it's sitting here. And I meant to do it last Saturday. So let's do it. We have this one. Let's start with this one. It's a Tim Holtz folder. So let's run some color over that. And all I have in here is Halloween color. So we're going to go with it. I'll do it. Let's see what happened. Like it just oversprayed everything. That's why we need to clean here. A splat box. Yep. Let's get this. See how much was there. Created a big old mud pile on my desk. I'll get it off here in a second. And this desk is meant for refinishing, so I'm not terribly worried about it. This is a baby wipe, so you may want to play with some of the color that's in your box if you plan on reusing your baby wipe. But let me spray that quick. And I'm going to use Shabby Shutters and some purple, which again might make mud, but we're going to try it. I really just want it to run over it, so I'm kind of going close and letting it run. And I don't want any white on this one. And if you had a clean water, you could certainly go with that to spray over it. Okay, so the only thing I see is I would like a little bit of green too. So you can see my sprayer is just what it is at this point. And I'm going to dry that quick. It looks a mess, but it's actually quite beautiful. I really do like it. It'll look great when it's dry. So these embossed backgrounds, I will more than likely turn into pockets or tabs. And they will have more done to them. I do have some glimmer mist that I'm going to spray on top of this one. I just think it will look pretty. I wanted to dry this though first and dab off that bottom edge. And so let me stop here and show you what we have before I do any more. So the green isn't really showing up on camera, but there is a definite green. It's quite lovely. And then let's put some glimmer mist over it. I'm going to do Jingle Bells. It's not really, it is glimmer mist. Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. This is a vintage product. And I really just want a gold look. And I also have mistletoe. Oh, mistletoe doesn't want to spray. I think I remember that from Saturday. So I will try to flick some on. At this point, we don't really need, it doesn't even want to flick. I think it's just flicking it everywhere. I'm going to have to touch it. I think the dots of the green would be great. It's not really working for me, but anyway, let's try that. I have somehow managed to ink my fingers more than the paper. The only other color I have in here that I think might work with this is Golden Cranberry, and I'm just gonna, yep, love it. We're good. Let's try it. You guys can't see any glimmer mist yet, but you're going to see it here in a second. The glimmer mists, if you have them or can find them, I don't even know if they make them. Also, my paper kind of like broke right there, but I don't care about it. If you can find them, I really like them. I do have the Tim Holtz ones also, and I like them both. So the Glimmer Mists are really old. I don't know if they still make them. Glimmer Mist, I'll hold up the bottle here in just a second. But if they don't make them, the Tim Holtz ones will suffice. I don't know if you guys are going to see the glimmer, but there's glimmer on this. I think it's beautiful. Not really Halloween, but I do like it. So here's Glimmer Mist, and like I said, they're really old. So Battered Angels Glimmer Mist, and you can see it's got color and that little bit of golden metallic glimmer, and it's very, very, very fine. You're not really seeing glitter at all. You're just seeing a hint of a gold pearl, basically. Okay, so there's that one. I don't want to waste much more time, but I want to do one that kind of looks more Halloween, maybe, and one that my paper isn't broken on. So let's do this one. What should we spray on this one? If I want it to look Halloween, should we do like black and purple? Black and orange? Let's do black and orange. I'm going to try the orange first. That was a Tim Holtz folder also. And black. Black is like super scary. I kind of want to set this orange before I run so much black over it. So give me just a second to set some of it. I don't know what these folders are called, but off the top of my head, but they are Tim Holtz ones. So we set some of that so that it's not super runny. And then this is the black. And this one is going to look very pretty with gold also. And I just want to make sure I've covered it. I'm going to set it and go back over with orange. I knew black was going to be way too overpowering, but I think it's pretty on the embossed folder. Clean water would be helpful, and I probably could spray it with this muddy water, but I'm worried about putting the muddy water through the sprayer nozzle. I guess it shouldn't because it comes out of a spray bottle anyway. So orange again. Oh, you know what? Let's do purple. Purple. Okay, I'm good with color on that one. It looks like a muddy mess to you guys, but hold on. The good thing about the oxide sprays is they do dry really quickly. And I'm not holding it up yet because I want to put the glimmer on it. And the glimmer, when you put things with the mica powder in it on an embossed folder, so put the mica powder sprays or whatever it is that you have on an embossed piece of paper or folder, whatever, it runs over it and over all of the little details. So I have a graphite one. Graphite has silver mica. Let's see if graphite feels like working today. Ooh, it does. And I'm going to hit that a lot and put my orange back on. We hit it a lot. Okay. I'll put my orange back on. But it's definitely looking spooky, and the silver with the black is beautiful. And so when you put mica on these embossed pieces of paper, it goes in and kind of outlines all the little embossed design, and it's really a pretty look. For it to outline, though, you do have to have it pretty saturated with it, which is why I put on so much. It won't outline if you just hit it like one time. You kind of have to you have to hit it a lot. Okay. So that's kind of set there, and I'm just going to do one little quick, here we go, and one little quick of orange. Yeah, we got what we got. Okay, let me put this down here, and let me dry that. It's really pretty. I'm not sure, again, if you guys will be able to see the mica, But the mica is so pretty on this one. And it's very spooky looking with just that hint of purple and orange. You guys see mica yet? So this one would have been a good one if I would have brought in Tim's sprays that have the purple and orange spray in them. And I probably will hit it later, but I don't have those sprays in here. But I probably will hit the orange and the purple area with his sprays. But you can see my fingers are all silvery and glittery. So that's that one. I don't know if you guys will catch it, but let me try holding it still. See, it's outlined it and it's really, really pretty. I don't think it's showing up for you guys, but it's a beautiful little pocket. I don't know. Don't know yet, but it's done. Anyway, so we did a couple of those. I'm going to let this sit. I can't leave it alone. That one worked. Really pretty. Awesome. I'm going to leave that one too. Okay, so there's where I ended it. And this right here that looks orange, I'm just going to dab that. I don't know what it is that made it look orange. I dabbed it. There we go. That's done. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of backgrounds and other things. For this mess, I am just going to put some water in this quick so that it kind of gives it a little rinse. And then we're going to put this stuff away and we're going to move on. And I'm just going to put the lid on this so it doesn't spill. And so let's reset all of this stuff quick. When you're done with your splat box, just put it all in there and close it. Okay, so I was using that to prop up the lid. Uh-oh. We can send that to voicemail. It's just healthcare reminding us our appointment on Monday. Okie dokie. So there's that. That's done. This is all dirty. Give me 1 second to clean up this mess. And then we'll move on. So where are you guys in your journals? I know some of you have been working quite a bit in the journal, and some of you haven't started yet. So I'm sure some of you have some pictures you could share, and other people are just kind of getting a slower start. I'm kind of getting a slower start on this one, in all honesty. I really hoped that even though I was like not feeling good, that I could go in my craft room and craft. But honestly, I had such a high fever that I was in bed like most of the week. Only Thursday and today. Leaving a voicemail. Cool. Okay. So as long as I get the spray now, it should be fine. Like I said, I wouldn't do this on a table that you really care about. This one is set for refinishing at some point. So that being said, let's move these. All of these liquid things, I'm going to run out to the kitchen because I want to, before I do that, just because it's going to be a minute, I'm going to wipe the nozzle off. But I want to put them under some water. You know how these little sprayers get clogged pretty easily. So I'm just kind of wiping them right now, and then I'll put them under the tap and run some clear water through them. You can buy replacement sprayers, but I haven't had to yet if you just clean and take good care of them. Which, you know, sometimes they just do and there's nothing you can do about it. But I think if you wipe it, even though, because it's going to be like 3 hours or 4 hours before I go out there. I don't know how long, but at least if I wipe it, it's not going to dry right there where the spray comes out. Okay, I'm good with that. So let me run and put these in the kitchen just because I don't like them in here when I'm playing with paper. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So other good things to drop color on and to spray and things like that would be book pages. You can just have a big crafting session. Maybe get out a bunch of products in your craft room. We all have that stash of products in our craft room that probably are about to dry up or go bad or need thrown away. Get out all of those kind of products, all your old paints that might be getting kind of clumpy. Get out all those products that really old ink pads, whatever you could throw away if you don't like it or it's all dried up or whatever, and just have a session one day where you just make a whole bunch of papers with backgrounds, splattered backgrounds, sprayed backgrounds, whatever, and just try to get some use out of those products before they actually dry up. You guys saw that I have a tub next to me of ink pads that are super old and they're getting dry. And so just have a play one day before those actually dry all the way. Sorry, I'll be done here in a second. I needed to use those tonic mousses, so we did that, but hopefully I'll have time to actually sit down and just play with that stuff before it actually dries up the rest of the way. Okay, so that was just a start. I have more pages because I make 3 journals at a time. So I have more pages that I can play with later, but that was a good start. So let's move those off to the side. And then let's get out the journal and let me read some of your chat. Hello, Edna. Hello. Hello, Melanie. Melanie's working on pages, doing some coffee dye stuff. Awesome. Brenda made master boards cut up for tags. Perfect. I want to make one of those tonight. I brought in some stuff. Hello, J-Mac. Hello. Never wasting time. Love to play with paint, Edna. That's awesome. Okay. So anyone who wants Braille paper, if you just private message me, it'll work out. All right, let's move on to watercolor stamping. For watercolor stamping, I kind of have an idea. I'm going to use this stamp set from Tim Holtz. It's called Falling Leaves, CMS 097. And I kind of have an idea of how to make our own eco-dyed papers or eco-dyed backgrounds. So I want to do some watercolor stamping with these stamps. And watercolor stamping with these may or may not work. We'll just have to kind of see. But let's go ahead and try to make a couple or one, I don't know how many we have time for, of background papers with this. I do need clean water for that. So I need to go grab another spray bottle with clean water. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, J-Mac. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back. Okay. So I have some eco-dyed paper somewhere that I cannot find. And you know, the eco-dyed paper that I'm talking about, a lot of people get confused on eco-dyed paper, the term eco-dyed. The term eco-dyed does not apply to copy-dyed paper, cranberry dyed paper, blackberry dyed paper. It's not that kind of eco-dye. Some people call that eco-dye, but that's not eco-dye. Eco-dye is when you place leaves from your garden, flowers from your garden, real, actual botanical elements in between layers of paper, and you tie or press that paper down. Usually you put a board on each side of it and you tie it with string and press that down really hard without breaking through your paper. And then you place that bundle in a pan with a bunch of rusty elements, and you boil the paper. And throughout that process, there's alum and other things that you do, but this is just a brief overview of it. Throughout that process, you end up with these beautiful papers that have the imprints of the botanical elements, like the flowers and the leaves, on the paper. So you remove the actual element you used, you remove the flowers, but the flower imprint is left kind of boiled onto the page. It's a beautiful look. I'm going to try something I've never tried before here live with you guys and try to do it with a watercolor stamping technique. I don't know how it will come out because I haven't done it before, but we're going to try it. Brenda's working on more pages in Masterboards. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let me go through this. So you can use any type of stamp for watercolor stamping. It works best with an image that is not necessarily as detailed as this. It works better with kind of line drawings of stamps, but I'm going to try it with this because we want an eco-dye look. I had planned on using this paper, but I'm not sure how it will work. Let's just try it and see. This one isn't a messy one. You don't need a splat box. You do need stamps and you need water, and that's pretty much all you need. And ink pads, obviously. Okay, so for ink pads, you're going to want to do water reactive inks. I have a variety of these little guys. I don't have the Tim Holtz ones anymore because I destashed them, but we're just going to do a variety of like fall color looking ones. And some of these have like glitter or whatever in them. This is the use it up ink pad pile. So whatever is in here is what I'm going to try. Maybe not the brilliances. We'll see because they have glitter in them. But let's just see what I have here for a second. And let's kind of give it a try. I'm looking for some greens. I don't know what we have for greens. I really need some greens. So hang on a second while I dig in here for some greens. It's more of like a tealy green. So I'm using stuff out of a box that honestly, I don't care if it gets cross-contaminated. If it's dry, I might just spray it with some water. I'm just using a bunch of different things. You use Tim Holtz inks if you have them. If you don't have Tim Holtz, then some other type of water reactive ink. And no, I'm not necessarily going to use all of these, but I don't know what ones work and what ones don't, so we'll see. This one might be too bright. Let's see. Let's try. These are Versamagics. Let's just give it a shot and see. Let's see what works, what doesn't work. So I just want to take these stamps. These are leaf stamps. That's kind of why I'm using it, because I want it to look like eco-dyed paper. There is some here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. So I am going to use a block with these. You don't have to, but I think I'm going to. Sorry, that was loud. When you ink them, you give it a spritz with water and you stamp it down, and it makes it a messy watercolory look, which I think for what we're going for an eco-dyed look, like this one doesn't even really want to open. It does have ink on it though, so let's give it a try. And I just got it all over my block. I'm not going to care because eco-dyed paper is imperfect in itself, right? So let's just give this messy one a try. So You give it a quick little spritz. Don't go too close because you're not trying to make it run on here necessarily. You're just trying to add a little water to it. And then I'm going to stamp off the page, kind of like it's just natural. And that's kind of what we got. And so you could put down a sprayed kind of color background. I wouldn't use oxides, just I don't think oxide color would be the best, but if you had like a rusty color or a brown color and you could put down a background layer, that would probably be good too. I'm going to go ahead and get another image out of this. It's like a secondary print as opposed to the first one. So that's working well. Let's do some of those. And again, I don't care about these inks, so getting water on them isn't going to bother me. If you straight stamped this stamp, you would have a very different look than what we're doing here. This is very much like a watercolor image. So I'm going to try this one more time. This ink is really kind of, I don't know, drying. Drying is the best option for that word. I don't know. So just a little bit this time. There's quite a bit of water on there anyway. And that's where we've got. I'm going to do one more of these, and then we're going to change stamps and change colors. So if you don't have eco-dyed paper, or you don't want to pay a good $2 a page that eco-dyed paper normally costs, or you don't want to make your own, there is quite a bit of skill and technique. So I will say there's quite a bit of skill and technique to making eco-dyed paper. So when you see it for sale, like on Etsy or something, just understand that those people, like, it takes quite a bit of effort. They're not just like coffee dyeing something by throwing it in a tub. It's a very different process, and it takes a lot of skill to learn how to do it. I have done it, but I live in Arizona and I have to actually buy flowers and the plant material to do it with, just because we don't have much of that. Like, I don't have a garden that I can just go out there and pick that. If you do where you live, I would suggest that you give it a try. This one is called Potter's Clay. Let's put Potter's Clay on this maple leaf. And I just got ink all over that from my hands. And it stained. Cool. So let's put that on there. And these inks aren't the best for this, obviously, but I got to use them up. So I'm really just trying to get a lot of ink on there and then wet it down. But what I'm saying is, you know, whatever they're charging, trust me, it's worth it. If you've ever tried to make it yourself, it takes a lot. That one came out really pretty. And so after we do this, you could try to spray it with some water and get it to run. And that would kind of give you more of that eco-dyed look. But this is working. So I'll stay with this for a little bit. And I'm going to do one of these. I'm not going to, you know, waste our whole night of clay with this. But the point of the water on the stamp is to give it that messy, messy look. And I think there is better paper, clearly, to do this technique with. But this is what I've got out. I think regular coffee dyed paper would be lovely because you would have that dyed look behind it. So there's quite a bit of water on there. So I'm just going to do one. There we go. So that's more of a regular stamped image, and that's the watercolor. I definitely prefer the watercolor. So I'm going to try to run that a little bit before it dries. There we go. Kind of blended it a little bit and made it look a little more like the rest of them. So that's lovely. dry up some of that extra water. Okay, so we've got some orange going there, or some rust color. This one was potter's clay. I would like a purple. I know purple is weird, but we're going to do purple. For the purple leaf, let's do this one. I love the watercolor technique, and you can use it for everything. It doesn't have to be just backgrounds. It can be the focal point. And, you know, truthfully, this might be really purple, but we're going to do it. And it is, but it's beautiful for Halloween. If we didn't spray it with water, it wouldn't be messy looking like that. It would be your perfect stamped image. And I don't want that. I want this messy watercolor look. And you can see I even hit my block on it. I don't care. It's fine. You could. I just have plans for embossing and regular stamping on those ones. That's what I'm doing, but you guys do whatever you want to do. So let's do it kind of here on that side, and then here on that side. Perfect. And then I'll clean that up. So water reactive inks definitely, you know, used for this technique, but use whatever you got. Okay, so there's that one. Then do we have some kind of yellow? Let's try this one. We have one leaf left that we haven't used yet. Let's try this yellow. These little cubes. I prefer like a square. I don't know. I'm not a fan of these. The little diamond shape. I think it does get on your block more, but let's try it. So this one is a Brilliance, and it has a little tiny bit of glimmer. Don't mind it. You can't really see the yellow so much. And then I can go right over the top of another one. They don't all have to be in their own space. Let's do a tail of one right here. And I need a darker green. I don't know if I have one, but let's try it. I'll do a couple more of these little half ones. I really like the stem. I would like to get more stems on here. Okay. We have some smaller ones. I really want another yellow, but truthfully, we're kind of getting busy, so there we go. That's all right. We've got that one. And then let's try, let's see how it works. Some of these little small guys. So this one comes with a set of stamps down here that are all together. You can just cut them out because I don't want mine in a row. So you do whatever you want to do. I am really quickly and messily going to cut them apart. I don't want them together. Don't be afraid to cut your stamps. Yes, you absolutely can stamp with actual leaves. Again, I do not have any because I live in Arizona. Surely there are leaves here, but I don't have any. So I'm going to use brown this time. I have vintage photo sitting right here next to me and scorched timber, but we're trying to use these up, so I'm going to use these. Yes, bits go in your garden. You could even stamp with actual like silk or plastic, whatever, artificial leaves. As long as they're detailed and they have veining in them, you can also stamp with those. So this one was a little too much water. That one was a little too less. It's okay. It's all good. The messier, the better. And after this one, we're done. I'm not going to do any more. I feel like we have plenty on there. So it's really just messy stamping on a page. From here, you could try to get, you know, like a spray over that of some sort or something. I think on coffee dye, it will look a lot better because you will have that natural color behind it. But anyway, I tried to use this yucky paper, and that's what I got out of it. Now, maybe I can cut it up for tags. Maybe I'll use it as a page. I don't know. But that was watercolor stamping very, very quickly. Just to show you, if you started out with something that has a dyed background, and start with something that has a dyed background and you put it over it. I know this is going to be my preference. Without the stamp block in it, it would look really cute. But I think definitely my preference is the dyed background behind it. So I'm not going to take our time to make it, but I am going to make it on coffee dye, just to tell you guys. So let's finish with this, and then let's get the actual journal out and start working on some pages together. We can make masterboard too if we need to, but let's start working on a page, because so far in our mixed media Tim Holtz journal, we haven't really done too much Tim Holtz stuff in there at all. So let's start working on that. This is dirty. I thought I cleaned it, but no, I didn't. It needs a good bath and a scrape. It's got stuff stuck all over it. Okie dokie. So that was watercolor stamping. You guys try it. I suggest you try it and see how you like it. It's an entirely different look than just straight stamping. The Tim Holtz inks will obviously blend and work better than what I had right here. What did you guys think of the watercolor stamping? How many of you guys have done it before? And how many of you liked it or didn't like it? What do you guys think? Sorry for reaching in front of you. Pasta salad, waiting for your wine to arrive. Wow. You're making me hungry with that pasta salad. I haven't eaten pasta in a long time. Fighting with my plastic packaging. My stamps here in Arizona do not seem to stick to the clean background very much at all. So I usually try to keep them in plastic. Okay, let's get the journal out. Some people who are like new and they're watching, they have never seen the journal. So let me actually get the journal out and kind of show you all where we were at with it. This is the journal. Camera. Camera, you need to work with me, camera. Yeah. I brought Liquitex in because I also wanted to splatter some of it. It's just a nice matte white color. Splatter some of it on the paper. I kind of forgot to do that part, but whatever, it's there. So it is a ring bound journal. This is the vintage bingo card. It is a lovely orange vintage bingo card from this Mobile Estates place in Tucson, Arizona. And they have these little slidey doors, so you can have them all, blacked out. You could even put like little pictures or a little word or whatever in there so that when the door slides, it shows something different than the numbers. But this is how mine looks. So these little thingies just slide. So this is the vintage bingo card. It is a large bingo card, like 8.5 by 7 or something like that. It's very much oversized than a normal bingo card. So that's the cover. It's already stitched around. There are kits available. If anyone is watching and they want a kit, there are kits available. I made some earlier today. So there are kits available. And the kit has everything you need to make the journal in it. So we have some things set aside for pages. These are the pages that I've made so far. Nothing has been hole punched. I made a template so that you guys, so that when we make our pages, we have a template for where we need to punch our holes. Okay. So I haven't hole punched any pages. I haven't put any pages in the actual journal yet, because the joy of having a ring bound journal is that you can take a page and just work on one page at a time. And then when that page is finished, put it in. Before I start working on the page, I do punch the holes just so I know where the holes are, so I don't accidentally put like an element or something over where the holes are going to be. So anyway, these are our pages that I've made so far. I took some just coffee dyed ledger page. It's a new ledger that's coffee dyed. I have some antique ledger that we'll make some pages out of too, and I made my pages all thick and sturdy. So I glued this to coffee dyed cardstock. So that's going to be a page. This is a page also. It's just kind of got some background blueprinty, schematic kind of looking things to it. I did make a Braille page. That's just a plain Braille page, and we folded it into a pocket. This is one of those certificate kind of papers, and so we made that. We have a stock certificate that has orange. All of this is part of the kit. And then I doubled up this and thickened it so it can be a page. And this is in your kit, and it's a vintage stock certificate. And that's doubled up. This is in your kit. So these are kind of the things I have prepped for pages. And I've just doubled all of my book pages up and glued them together so that I can have these little pages in my journal. And this one. And then there's this that we made into a pocket. It needs inked around. All of these need inked around probably. But this is also in your kit. And I've just folded it over and strengthened it right there because it wouldn't fit anyway without it. And we made this last time. It's a pocket up here, and then there's 2 pockets back there. This is a page. You can tear it up and use it for collage, but that's a page. This is also a page. It's Edith Holden. We've got some super big dictionary that's doubled up. This was also a page. And then we just have regular cardstock pages to play with too. My journal is going to have like little vintage kitty Halloween. And the backs of all of these will probably get covered. I have a stack of paper here also. So, and then I have some plain coffee dyed ones. So that's kind of the pages. It's a start on the pages for this journal. They're not in any particular order yet. They're just kind of the base of the page done. And you can see, you know, we've got quite a bit there, but we need more. Obviously, there will be pockets, and the pockets will all be stuffed. So the journal will grow, which is why the rings are so big, is so that the journal can grow and your cover can flip over easily. If you didn't want to use the rings, you could still have a ring bound journal, but not use these metal rings. You could tie it with twine or ribbon or sari silk or whatever, and your pages will still open and turn the same way they will with the rings. You can also wrap your rings with ribbon or something like that, or decorate them, paint them, whatever you wanted to do with them. They won't look so oversized once your cover is built up and your journal is fatter. So anyway, that's that. For the back cover, I just made it and layered it up with corrugate and watercolor cardstock, and I'm going to decorate it at some point. I just haven't done it yet. So that's where I'm at with the actual journal and pages. I have not worked on it without you guys at all. Let me put my template back in there so we don't lose it. And then this is also going to be hole punched and put in there. I was going to try to find the O, like 2 O's, so it could say boo. Everyone just got one random letter, but since I have a B, I was going to try to find the 2 O's and do it. I don't know if I will, but anyway, that's there. And then there's a whole bunch of Tim Holtz ephemera and other ephemera. There's a whole bunch more to the kit, but that part is already mixed in a bin. So if you want to see the kit in its entirety, there are videos posted to my channel, and it's also posted in my Facebook group. The kits are available. You just need to message me, send me a private message if you want a kit. I make a kit every month. This is September's kit so that the journals could be done. So you guys could start playing in your journals if you were keeping them for October. Let me take a look at chat rail. Cajun shrimp Alfredo Christie. Goodness. That sounds awesome. Awesome. Susan says, never done it. We'll try doing that. Yay, Susan. Yay. Joanne's going to try it. Yay. Love it. You can also stamp those little watercolor elements. It doesn't have to be leaves, but watercolor elements on a masterboard. You can stencil on a masterboard. That adds a layer visually without adding a layer in thickness. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so these pages, this is a printed digital from Etsy. I did forget to tell you guys which one it is, but I kept these parts of the pages. I cut up the rest of the pages to use in collage masterboards. There is a masterboard that we made somewhere around here. I don't know where, but I'll find it here in a minute. We made 2 of them last time, I think. So maybe we don't need to make one today. But I thought I could save these to cover either the back cover with, they're not quite the right size, but I'll print out some more. But I saved them. Maybe they need to go like on a page or something. So there is printed digitals that I'm using, not as necessarily like a kit like you normally would use in a journal. But anyway, there are some printed things I'm using. And then Tim Holtz papers and Tim Holtz Halloween ephemera and regular Tim Holtz ephemera also. Just use whatever it is that you guys have or whatever came in your kit. But all of these are going to be gorgeous pages, pockets, and tags. So those are there. And I need to glue some dictionary page together and put some book page in between it, but like glue page in between it so that it gets thickened. And we will use this as a page also. So I'm not going to do that right here, but I'm just telling you that'll also be a page. So that's kind of what the kit I had out is. Let me find those masterboards. Oh, we cut them up, didn't we? We did. Now I remember we cut them up. And so the kit has a ton of other ephemera in it. So like here's the pile. Here's the pile from a kit. This is kind of like the rest of the kit, like kind of goes this way. But there is a bunch of Tim Holtz ephemera and pictures and things. There's all kinds of envelopes. Like this will be a big one that'll wrap around a page. There's bags. There's other envelopes. There's a die cut of this with the pocket. We can work on that. There's an envelope and library card pocket. There's time cards. There's tags. There's other tags. There's vintage Halloween socks. There's tickets, other envelopes. There is bingo cards and die cuts. And these are Italian papers that are letterpress papers. And they're in there. And then we saw that. And then there's small ephemera that we can make some pockets and tucks out of. There's more book page and encyclopedia. And these things. And this. And some tissue paper that has just a floral that we can decoupage on things. So there is more of the kit also, but this is like a pile in the bin I found. So anyway, let's get to it. All right. So let's work on there they are. So let me get this stuff out. This is my scraps that we had left from last week, minus that obviously. But this is my scraps, and this is the neutral part of the scraps. And then we got more into Florentine paper and whatever. So I just want to keep this scrap pile over here to the left of me so that we can use it while we're working today. So let's try to make either a page or some elements for a page. This is the rest of the digitals that I printed. So So let's pick something out of this printed digital pile and use it. And I have tons of Tim Holtz ephemera that I'm going to be putting in mine because my journal is going to be based off of Tim Holtz's stuff. You guys base your journal on whatever theme you want. Let's see. Okay. So for pages, I'm just going to pick one and we're going to start playing with it. I'm going to hole punch it because I want to actually start making a page with you guys. This one, I mean, it's a nice writing page. Let's use one that isn't going to be for writing. Let's use this guy. We can start decorating this one. So the first thing I want to do is punch my holes so that I know. So here's the thing too. I want to punch my holes so that I don't cover up the element. But if you notice, the page that I made for my journal, because I want my pages to be all different sizes. I don't want them all to be the same size. So you'll notice that my template is the size of the covers of my journal. So when you have a smaller page, you just kind of want to center your holes. The most important thing is that your pages either cover, 2 holes, or if you can cover all 3 holes with your page, that's ideal. But a small page, as long as you get 2 holes in it, or even a tiny page, if you can get the center hole in it, it will still turn in your journal. But when you're using, say you had a small page, this is see-through, so it's not a good idea. Say you had a small page that was this is your page. It's not a tag, it's a page. Or maybe you want to use a tag as a page. All you need to do is line up the bottom edge of whatever size page that you have with the side edge of your template and center the hole. So you can kind of see it's centered. Hopefully you can see it centered. It's kind of centered. So you want to line up the bottom and center it and then hole punch it. Okay, so you can use any size page in your journal, but if it was a small page that was this wide, then you would just, if you can't see, you can't get 3 on there, right? This one doesn't fit. So then you're going to just put them, you're going to line up the bottom and line up the edge, and you're going to punch the 2 here, okay? And that will also line up and turn. You just want to make sure that whatever holes you're using, you're punching from a template. You can't randomly just punch holes because they're not going to go on your rings. They won't be the same width apart, right? That's what we're going for. So if you have small page, just line it up center, put it in the bottom. A center one, it doesn't matter that you're lining it up here because it's just going to go in the center. You know what I mean? But this one, if I want it to line up at the bottom, I've got to line it up like this. Hopefully that makes sense. And just punch the 2, and that's all you need. Okay? So let's go ahead and punch this guy. Now, I used thick pages. If you used thin pages, before you punch your holes, you need to reinforce this area with masking tape, some type of washi tape that is sturdy. You could use, where is it? You could use this tape, the medical tape that I've been using to reinforce pages with. It's just kind of like a blank white washi tape. You could use that to reinforce it. If you made your pages thick like I made mine, you don't have to reinforce your holes. You could use the little sticker hole reinforcers. That's an option. If you have to use those on a thin page, you can. But my preference is to reinforce it with something thick and like tape, or worst case scenario, you put another, and I don't mean worst case, but you could add a strip of paper like from your offcut bin just down the side to strengthen that edge. Because when you punch a hole in it, it's real easy for that to tear. So that's why also I used thick pages. So let me go ahead and line this up, and I'm going to punch it. And I'm just centering it roughly and lining it up on the edge. And then I'm going to punch it. If you want, you can draw circles. That's advisable because if you punch through your template, you're going to hit your template. It just happens to everyone. I'm looking for a pencil. So I advise you not to punch through your template. I advise you, oops, to circle them, right, with a pencil and then punch. And you can color them in if you're like me and this paper kind of is busy. You can color them in like that. And then you know exactly where to punch your holes so that they line up with everything. Hole punching is really important. It's something that sometimes you get kind of in a hurry and you overlook it. And trust me when I say hole punching is really important. The crocodile is my preferred way to punch this, and so I'm going to get it out. I can't see through that little metal hole puncher, and I'm just going to use the crocodile. You can go through and hole punch all of your pages at once. That's normally how I do it. Also, I have my depth already set from when we punched the cover. So I think using the crocodile and being consistent throughout the whole entire thing just works better. The holes are exactly the same size and exactly the same depth into the paper, into the page. So I would go through and punch all your holes at the same time, but I'm not going to right now because it'll take time that we don't need to waste on that. So anyway, now this will fit perfectly into our rings. So this was just put on this page as a background, and the back of it is just like an ivory colored cardstock. So let's work on this side of it. I'm going to ink it first. I think for this one, where is my, there it is. I'm losing things in my own craft. I'm just going to use Distress Oxide to do that in Vintage Photo. Sorry, choking. Okay. Before I get started, I'm just going to ink all the way around my page. This one is pretty white. You could have ran some color over this page as well. This page was included and the cardstock was included in your kit. So you could have run some ink over it. I do want to try to kind of give it a little smudge here. You can blend in if you have a blendy brush. This blends a little bit, but you have to be careful. If you have the glass mat to work on, it will be better. So we've got a little bit of color here or there. I just want to put some smudges here or there on the page. That's better. It's less white. Anyway, so we've got some of that done. Now we have to decide if we're going to put a pocket on this page or we're not. We're not going to write on this. You could, but we don't really need this for writing space. So I think I'm just going to decorate this page. I don't think I'm going to add a pocket to it. I'm just going to go straight forward and decorate it. Let's layer some other pages and things up on here and kind of treat this just as like, this is the first layer, and maybe I put some text, some rag paper or something to just get a more layered look before we put our focal point on. So for that, I just want to put some book page. I have a pile of rag paper over here. Let me move this. It's on parchment and it just wants to slide everywhere. Let's layer up. I have this dictionary sitting here. What else do I have? These pages sitting here. This one looks good. Let's use this one. I don't necessarily want such a dark page on this. And so this is rag paper. It's on the thinner side of rag paper, but all I want is this texty part. And I want a torn edge going this way. So just to kind of give myself an idea of where I want it, I'll preset. Now I have hiccups. Went from choking to hiccups. Okay, so that's good. I think we can do that on there. So let's glue that down. So I'm done with this tray. Let me see if I can move this and give myself a little more room. Okay. And our background pages that we spattered are obviously dry now. So let me see. We can work on them too before we say goodnight. I'm still gonna go for like another hour or two tonight. We'll see. Let's go ahead and glue this down. Ooh, this one's dry. I've got eyelet washers and all kinds of stuff on here. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna need pretty much all the way to the top. Where's my glue book? How are you guys doing out there? Anybody working with me? Anybody working on their journal? How many of you guys are crafting right now, whether you're making this journal or a different journal, or you're just making an ephemera? How many of you guys are crafting right now? How many watching and how many crafting? Okay. And I want to go over this edge one more time, just because it's the edge of my page, and I'm not planning on at this moment sewing around my pages. I might after I get them done, but at this moment, I'm not planning on sewing on them. But yeah, you guys can see. So I'm mostly concerned with getting as little of this border on the page. Like I said, I didn't really need to glue that as much, but so I kind of got the number up here, some of this header, and that's glued down. And then I will trim off this excess here in a minute. Okay, so there's that part, and I left all this grunginess right here. We need to think about kind of doing a focal point here. And for all of, not all, but for most of my focal points, I'm going to try to use Tim Holtz things. And then those vintage Halloween images from like the 1930s or 40s. That's what my journal's going to have. Helen's just watching Melanie's traveling. Susan's watching Anne Crafty. Hello, Just Jersey. Hello, hello. Brenda's watching. Kim's crafting. Faith Ann's crafting. Yay, I have a couple people crafting. Now I could wrap this around. I think I'm going to do it. It's vintage rag paper, and it had glue on it, so I'm just going to wrap it. We're just going to do that for now. I mean, it's not on this side, but it doesn't really matter. This is cardstock. So let me cut off this excess quick. Let me get out my Teflon coated scissors. They're all gluey already, but they need to dig into the sink also. So let me trim this off so I can see my page. All right. So that's our page. Let's get some focal points out. I have some printed ones. Let me take a peek at the printed ones. Do I want to do like this kind of stuff on here? This is printed ephemera for making some little tags. And I am going to make those little tags. This digital I actually have. It's from North Street Mercantile. And it makes these little tags. Clusters. I don't know. They're clusters, but to me they're tags. So it makes these. They're really kind of cute, but it has a bunch of ephemera in it to decorate them with. So you could use digitals or Tim Holtz or whatever. You know, use what you have, whatever you have. Maybe we'll put these fun Halloween and some other things on there. I don't know. I don't really have a plan, if you guys can't tell. I don't really have a plan. I just know that I want a little more on this page. We could put this big owl on there. I could fussy cut him out and put him on. He might be kind of cool. I think I want another element layered back there, though, before we get started. So what if we did some of this? Can't get these pages apart. What if we did some of this and an owl and some other little things? I don't know. Let me cut out one of these owls. I think I want to kind of fussy cut the owl, not leave him as a square. You could leave him as a square. There's kind of like a moon back here behind him, but it also kind of looks like a thumb notch. So you could make him into a little pocket for a tag, especially if you printed him on cardstock. And then this could be just a pocket on your page. I'm not going to leave him as a pocket. I think I'm just going to go ahead and decorate this page. But you know what I mean? Like a pocket, and then your tag can go down in there. I didn't print him on cardstock, so he is what he is. I'm just going to cut him out and see how I like him. And then I'm going to go get some Tim Holtz stuff and play with it. Now, owls have feathers, so I kind of want to make my cuts a little jaggedy so that he doesn't look like he's perfectly cut. You know what I mean? So, what are you guys crafting out there? What are you guys making? Now I'm super, like, you know, nosy about what you guys are doing. I'm just curious. So how many of you guys out there are making something for either fall or Halloween? How many of you are crafting for the season? I think, I don't know how we're cutting him yet. So I just left him on his little log there, but that's what we got so far. Journaling, Jersey, awesome, awesome. All right, so we have a giant owl. I don't know. We need more. We need a lot more. That's what I'm thinking. I want another layer. So let me just kind of take a peek. Let me take a peek at like what some of this. Yeah. Some of that at the bottom. So let's re-tear this so I don't end up with a white edge. And then we can kind of layer. He kind of blends in a little bit there now. I don't think I mind it. I don't want him dead center, but I'm playing with his placement for a little bit. What if we put him over here? I don't want to lose my torn edge either. So he could go all the way on the edge like that. That's an option. Playing with that. I don't want to cover up my torn edge here. So let's play with him for a minute. Let me get out the Tim Holtz things. And so after I cover this side of my page, if I need to, I'll just repunch my holes. Does that make sense? It's also, you know, another reason why I like to punch them first, because I might put an owl there and then I might actually have to like punch him, you know, like if you didn't punch your holes first. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get out some other things to play with. I don't have enough ephemera here. I keep looking at these pages and I think I want to use them, but I'm not positive. So let me look at them again. See this little owl? I don't want to put tons of owls, but what if we put the fun Halloween on there? There's that little skeleton like card. The numbers are kind of cool. Let me cut out the numbers. There's also some strips here. a little tag. Let me cut out some of these little thingies. Oops, well, that one wasn't a straight cut, but oh well, we'll just rough it up. We'll make it a distressed edge. So there's some numbers. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing at the moment. I guess these are fingerprints. I was trying to look at, like, I don't know what they are, but I guess they're fingerprints. I keep looking at that fun Halloween. No, I don't think so. Okay, Tim, hold stuff it is. Let me go grab that. It's behind me. I know, I don't have a plan. Kim's deconstructing old books. Yay! Yay, Kim. That's exciting. Okie dokie. Tim holds these. We have this, that. We have so much things to play with in here. The moth wings. I don't know if this is the same one or a different one. I have some words, some transparencies, old photos. I just need to dump a bunch of this Tim Holtz stuff in a bin, and then I will just have it out and available to play with. So we're going to do this page and maybe one more because I just saw something that I want to play with really bad. Remember that vintage, or it was antique, green wallpaper that I showed you guys last week? I definitely want to play with that. So I see this big circle thing. There's also a moon. The moon is like out of scale. I see this numbery thing. Again, it's kind of out of scale. I'm really struggling with finding something at the moment. Bear with me. I don't know what else ephemera is in this one, but let's put the moon back. How about what if we use one of these because it's already all collaged up? Like, what if we get a section of that? I don't know. I don't want to cover up anything is the problem. I mean, I could put that over there. I don't like the straight edge though. He would need to cover it. And now he's just floating in the air. Let's bring this down. I need to collage this. I need another small. Where's my small ephemera? This one. So normally when I'm working, I'd have a bin and I just dump a whole bunch of things in it. And I really need to do that right now, but I don't have a bin in here that I can do that with. But let's just kind of dump it here. We just need bits and pieces. He needs to sit on something. Any of these will work. I like the glue. The glue would look nice on there. Okay, what else do we have? Get that. There's a ticket. I mean, it's kind of going that way. I don't necessarily want it to do that, but it's doing it. Let's see what else. Giant eyeball. Small owl. There's like some little labels. I don't think I'd want that. These little playing cards, because we've kind of got like a card suit here. What if we kind of did something like that? I'll get there in the end. There's a 31. I'm holding off on numbering these pages just because I think I might want to actually include a set of numbers 1 through 31 for the person who buys the journal, so that when they're working in the journal, they can number their pages 1 through 31. You might do that. So let me just shove this pile over here. And let's start gluing some stuff down. Deconstructing books is fun, but when you have to do it like for 50 books in a day, it gets old. So I think I'm going to go with something that looks like this. I may edit it slightly as we go. I've got a whole lot of like plainness here that doesn't have a lot of decoration. So, and I'm not thrilled with this straight edge here, but maybe I will like it more if I ink a little bit of my edge there. I'm not sure, but let me see where my inky thing is. And let me do a little bit of this edge here. And then a little more color through that open space. It's just a little too stark white. Okay, let's do it. We're going to glue it down. So this goes here, and then these, and then that at the end. So I'm just going to stick Tim Holtz stuff on there. I do want to ink everything for this journal, I believe. Normally, you guys know that I'm not a big inky fan, but I do want to ink for this one. I just think for this one in particular, it's going to look better inked. So this will get inked. Inking, to me, it takes a lot of time, and I don't necessarily love, everyone loves vintage photo. I don't love vintage photo. I just think sometimes it makes, like if you're doing a shabby chic or a very light colored journal, I just think that the vintage photo often makes the pages look dirty. And I know, people say, well, antique paper, it's dirty, but I have a lot of antique paper and it's not dirty. It's not the same color as vintage photo. So for me, I just don't think it's the right shade. And I usually use antique linen if I ink things in like a lacy frilly journal. So I don't know. Inking is a really case by case journal, or journal by journal case for me, where I ink some and I don't ink others. I either feel like it needs inked or I don't. Some people ink every single thing that they make, and that's good. That's fine if that's what you want, it's a personal thing. So for this one, I just feel like it needs inked, which is rare for me. I normally don't. All right, so we did it. Almost. We have these little cards. You're loving the owl page. It came together pretty easy too. I literally just dumped out a pile of ephemera. The owl is Graphics Fairy, and I just printed 4 of them on a page. So there's that. I think we've inked everything. If I've missed things, we'll do it later. So he goes, that goes there. This goes here. I'm gonna put it back together again. This, that, and the cards go back there. Okay, that's how it was. So let's glue this strip down. The strip is bothering me with the straight edge. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. There was this little piece of black lacy stuff. Like, I don't know where our owl goes, but maybe I could. It's just not long enough. I wish it was, but it's not. There are these strips, but again, they're just straight edges too. So I don't think I want to enhance the straight edge. I did like this though. So if you have like a black lacy die cut, or I don't want to put lacy stuff in there, but if you could ink this black, I think that might look better. Let's try that. Let's try inking this black quick. I have not inked this paper doily before, but I'm sure that it is possible. Let me find my glue page. And do I have black? I do. So let's ink this black quick. I don't have black paper doilies. I don't know why I don't have them, but I don't. I never, on the black one, I never know which side goes on the thingy and which side is the ink part, because it's black on both. Okay, I'm just gonna try it. It's not really gonna come out black, but I mean, maybe if you just actually, it's a look. I'm not sure it's the look we're going for. It is slowly getting darker. I don't think you can dye these though, because they're very, very thin. I mean, I have dyed them like with coffee dye and things, but I don't know that you could dye it black. So that kind of got some base layer of ink. And now I'm trying to get like in between the little doily bits. It's coming out. I'm not giving up on it. I think we're going to use it. I just need to hide that straight edge. My brain is not happy with it. Oh, the book's fallen apart. Yes. So we can't, oh, well, that piece is there. We can't save all books, right? We do have to craft with some. Otherwise, they go in the incinerator. I am going to try to glue that the way it is. I just want to try to color some of the white bit there. Okay. I think I'm going to tear it again. I think that is enough. We'll see. We'll see. My fingers could not get more disgusting at the moment. They're so gross. I can feel all of the stuff on them. Now, had I been smart and done this on a page I cared about, it would have left a pretty pattern. But I wasn't. I was just using the page. So let's do this again. This guy is somehow magically going to, part of him, get in there. This is going to go, still going to have straight edge. It's going to have to go under there. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And then this will all go here, and that'll go there. And this will all go back there again. So I need to just kind of see where my lacy little bit is going to go. I think I literally just want this lace edge. So I'm going to tear the white paper from the center of the doily away. I kind of thought maybe we were going to keep it. And then I'm going to need to watch, because I didn't switch my little inker thing. I'm going to pick it up thinking vintage photo is on it, and I'm going to ink things black. But in this journal, since it's Halloween, it's not going to be like, you know, I'm not going to cry over it. Okay, so I kind of inked where I tore it. And then let's see if we can get some of this in there. And I don't care that it's going to cover up some. I really am just trying to preserve the card and the little boy. And I can tear some of this away also, or angle it differently. But it kind of disguises that for me. So I think I like that. Let's work on gluing that. So we're still gluing this down first. Let's apply some glue. I don't know exactly where yet, so we're just gonna glue. I know I don't need it all the way to the top, but I don't know how far. And you could have really cut it off down here too to save it. instead of wasting what's going to be underneath everything else. So we know we're going to repunch our holes. It's not going to be the end of the world. Just want to make sure that I've got it high enough where the little boy and the card are going to show. And since I know this part's getting cut, I'm not going to waste it. But I do want it all the way over to the edge of the page. Okay, so I'm going to snip off this whole bug section. I'm being super frugal, and I'm going to save that, even though it's all gluey. There's that. Ideally, wait for it to dry, but you know, I don't have time for that. So there we go. And I have these two little bits that we can use for something else later once they dry. Let's try to get the other little card thingy somewhere here. And then I'm going to glue that down with art glitter. So he's good right about there. Okay. I want to do one more page with you, so I am trying to kind of be quick about it. And I got glue everywhere. And that one's going to go, I don't know if I want a space or I don't want a space. I think I want a space. I don't know, I'm playing with it a lot, but I can keep this up higher. I don't know. He's just going there for now. I gotta be careful because my fingers are super, super inky and they're kind of starting to mark everything. So if I wasn't live right now, I would go and wash my hands because look at how much ink is on my fingers. A lot. And every time you have wet glue and you touch it with your fingers while you're trying to position things, it kind of smears. I'm not going to care on this page necessarily, but on certain ones I probably would. Go wash my hands. All right, so there's that. I wiped them. We need to put the lacy stuff on. And the lacy stuff, I don't need the whole piece. Maybe I can save some, but let's kind of put it. Wait, are you straight? You need to be straight. Okay, I guess you're straight. Let's put this on. I'm going to try to just glue my page where I think it's going to go. It is going to eat up my glue stick a bit, but I'm just trying to get some there. And then I will go with art glitter for the rest. The little lacy stuff, you can't really put glue stick on it. If it was attached to the paper, you might be able to, but so here's what we're doing. We're art glittering. Maybe we're art glittering. Maybe. Only the little bits. Are you going to work today? The little bits where you can get glue. And I really should have put glue maybe first. You could put this on the back of your hand and then kind of tap this little lacy piece on the back of your hand. It's an option. I'm trying to focus mostly my gluing on the edges and kind of smear it like this. Not really, but if you just put it on the back of your hand, or if you have like, you know, a Teflon sheet, or I kind of glued the whole thing. I forgot we didn't need it. But if you have something where you can just tap this little lacy piece in, it will kind of pick up the glue automatically. Let's kind of put that kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and tear right there. Lay that up there to dry. Dirty baby wipe and kind of pat it down. Now it's water reactive black ink, so I don't want to smear too much or anything like that. Just patting. And we're going to let that dry for a second. pretty good. Let's leave that. We're going to tuck these cards in, but I want to kind of okay. I don't know where he's going exactly, but I think we're going to put those cards right there. I might just, I mean, honestly, it's open and it's easier. We won't be able to move them as much, but I think I want the red one on top. I don't know if I got my corners. So let's do the black one and the red one. And I'm just going to play. I say that, but it's art glitter. So once they're there, they're pretty much there. Hopefully that's where we wanted them, because that's where they are. Pretty good. I like it even without the owl. Okay, so let's put this on. My glue is really having an issue right now. It's throwing a tantrum. It's been a little bit since it was used, I guess, a week. So maybe it will be clogged. I don't know. Let's glue stick this one. I don't know that I needed it all the way to the edge, but we'll do it. So we'll have our first page decorated. And this is in lieu of like in a normal journal that we make. You know, you would maybe just have like digital elements that are already collaged on a page, like a digital that's a printable. So I have a whole lot of overhang there. I don't think I am going to wrap it anymore. I'm just going to cut this off here in a second, but let's leave it like that so it can dry. These are our little elements. I'm just going to cut it. I'm impatient. I want to see it done. A normal person wouldn't glue quite as much as I just did, I guess. They would have sized their page first. Anyway, we did it. Good thing these are Teflon scissors that are cheap that I can just run under some hot water and alcohol. All right, I'm not going to save any of that. And let's get this piece of doily off. It's just going to tear anyway, so we've cut it. Ugh, sticky, sticky, sticky. All right, the owl. What do you guys think? It's cute, right? It's coming. It's coming up. All right, the little owl needs to go somewhere. And then he's going to cover him. I think he was initially, I don't know, underneath the paper. I'm not sure, but something like that now. There is this little straight edge, and I might have to, before I do that again, might have to do a little distressing back there. Eh, it's okay. It's coming. Let's glue our little owl down. This page is like not gluey enough, but this is 28-pound paper and I'm worried it's going to stick to it. So let's use this page, this side for a minute. I was trying, and I might do it while I'm in the hospital, trying to put together a digital for you guys for Halloween. And if I do, I'll just release it and it will be free of just elements and things that I'm using or that I think we can use. Might be too low there. I think he is too low. That's what I like about glue stick. You can just move him until you like him. Okay. So we really didn't need that much lace, but we've got it. All right. And then I'm going to art glitter this. I want it straight. That's really all I care about right now is that it's straight. Okay. That's pressed down, and then let's get this down. And then we have one page almost done. We gotta repunch our holes and then we're good. It was fun to collage that. I do have to admit. Oop, almost didn't leave myself enough room for that. Yeah, it kind of looks silly way down here. I would have preferred this to be up and over a little bit, but whatever. It's where it is. Again, as long as it's straight, I'm happy. Okay. Pretty cute little page, if I do say so myself. Let's repunch these holes so we can see it, and then we have to work on the back page. But I wanted to do 2 pages so we can see a spread come together. So you guys can see ring-bound journals, very different than your normal digital kind of based journal, where you use printed digital kit for your pages. These pages we're going to make up all on our own. Unless there's a digital that I magically find or magically make for us. I think it's kind of fun, though, to do something a little different. So there's that. I think he's super cute. Super cute. And he's just 1 page. Now he needs to be flattened a little bit. And I might find, I mean, I don't feel any, but there might be something there that we need to go back through and glue. But I think once he's flattened out, he'll be super cute in a journal. Good night, Kim. Enjoy your TV time with your daughter. I do the same thing with my son. The bottom of this paper, this marble paper is not, it's from Graphics Fairy. And there is a Tim Holtz paper that is exactly the same. When I put together that kit, if I put together a kit, I will include it for you guys, but I haven't put together a kit yet. So I think it was really cute. I would have liked my cards to be tucked down just a little bit more, but whatever, they're there. Okay, so that's one of 31 or something like that. I mean, there's 31 sides, I guess. So 1 of 15, 16. Let's just do 16. And my journals always have extra pages. So I just want to include 31 pages that the person can do something on, write on, whatever. So it'll have a minimum of 16 flippable pages, and that will be 32 sides of paper. So it would have been cool to make this part right here a tuck so that you could have tucked something in there. I glued everything flat, but if you wouldn't have glued these little edges here, you could have used that as a tuck, and that would have been a cool idea too. So that's that one. Let's do one more. So let's find another one to play with in here. We'll need that. I don't know why I put that in there. That doesn't go in there. We could just do some ephemera. I wanted to do one more page. This one. I don't know. That might be kind of fun to write on. I haven't decided if I'm going to decorate that one or what. Obviously, something's going on there. This guy needs decorated. He's too plain to be left. I mean, all of these book page ones need stuff on them. Let's see about working on these two. So this guy, like I said, he's smaller, so you just want to center him and punch your holes. You could line it up at the bottom on this one. He's big enough. I think I'm going to center him. No, I'm not. I'm going to line it up at the bottom. So I'm going to line him at the bottom. So I am doing Craft With Me in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time or 7 a.m. Arizona time. And let me just mark this one at the same. So see how this hole is super close up there? You got to watch that. This one is exactly the right size, so that's cool. Let's punch two of these. So this one being super, super close up there, it's going to need reinforced. And carefully. It wants to slide every time I try to squeeze it. Okay, there's that guy. Barely see my hole. And there's that guy. I'm going to have all these little paper circles everywhere in this room by the time this journal is done. Okay. So this guy right here shouldn't really have punched that top hole, but I did. So now we're going to need to reinforce it. It's just, this paper it's sturdy and it might not tear, but I'm going to reinforce that because I'm worried about it tearing. And I brought in that little medical tape. That is honestly a great way of doing it. But somewhere in my Tim Holtz stuff is his vintage tape stickers. And I'm going to put vintage tape sticker up there. That's another way to reinforce the hole. And I wanted to do in the morning, I guess, because we're already cutting it close. I guess in the morning we'll work on those pages that we splattered paint on and stuff, or sprays on. Let me find the vintage photo tape from Tim Holtz. That's in here somewhere. I have bags of Tim Holtz things that I brought in because I figured I wanted to play with them. So in this one, I think there is. Okay, well I know where it is in the actual craft room, so I might just go grab it out of the actual craft. It might be easier. Oh, right here. So this stuff. It's basically his faux vintage tape, and I think it will look good across the top, and it will probably be strong enough to reinforce it. So that's another way to reinforce your holes. I have not played with his faux vintage tape sheets. You can see that they're see-through. They're just aged like vintage tape. We can make this ourselves. I started to show you guys how to do it and then never finished, but I will show you guys how to do it. I'm going to use one of these ones. They come in different widths. So you just find one that you like the look of. This one is fine. We can make this ourselves with alcohol ink, and I showed you guys which tape that I got to do that with. Now his tape is already sticky, but I just think it's always a good idea to stick some Uhu. Even if you're using like washi tape or whatever, just stick Uhu on it, and then you know that it will be there forever. And I'm going to wrap it around to the back side and not really lining it all the way to the top. Oh, maybe I'm going to have to. And then it's really wanting to stick. Oh, goodness. There we go. I'm trying to line it up and wrap it at the same time. Okay. The glue will dry, and then we will get more of a look of, you know, how it's supposed to look. But basically, it looks like there's just vintage tape there, and I'm going to punch that hole again. So I'm going to keep this off to the side because I probably will use it for more hole reinforcers. I think that was probably a good idea, if I do say so. So, you guys see my psoriasis is itching me. So let's, because I was sick, you know, and antibiotics and whatever, it just kind of makes a flare. So let's think about decorating this. This is a kind of a tuck over here. We want to do some decoration here, but we also have this, and we need to decide, do we just like that parchmenty paper look, or do we want to do something else to it? There's going to be decorative things in the pocket, so we might not need to decorate back here. Let's focus on the pocket in the beginning here. Itchy, itchy. I don't know if you guys have psoriasis out there, but it's not fun. It's very, very itchy. So, like, I mean, he includes in his ephemera just stuff. So, like, there's all kinds of things that can just, like, not that I'm going to tuck these, but you can see when there is stuff in the pocket, you might not need to decorate this part, or maybe we just stamp it with like a cobweb stamp half on. I don't know how many cobweb stamps I need in this journal, but there will be some. So let's find some little things to decorate this part with. If I had these in a bin, I would organize my ephemera by size so that when I'm flipping through the bin, I can kind of see, you know, everything at a glance. So I kind of organize it in a bin all by size. So we have this little piece of ephemera. Not that I need another owl, but there is an owl. I think owls are really cool, but I don't know how many of them we can get in a journal. There's a little poison label. I don't know if I want poison in my journal. I don't know yet. This is like French for toxic, maybe. I don't know. There's this little raven bird. There's a little mushroom card if we wanted to go that way instead. I haven't played with his Halloween ephemera before. This is the first year I bought it because I was always, you know, thinking, oh, well, it's Halloween. It's very like scary and bloody and gross and whatever. And it's actually not. A lot of the things I have found are, I mean, I could use them in any kind of a journal. It doesn't have to be Halloween. So I keep wanting to use that. Maybe some of these little flashcards. I don't know. So I found that a lot of his things are not even what I would call Halloween. It can be used for anything. I'm pretty sure that says Valentine, but whatever. Maybe the typography would look good on there. A couple pieces of typography. There's this little ticket. There's a lot of these little books, and I don't make the little books. I know a lot of people do, and they look awesome, but I don't. I've never made them. Maybe we would this time, but I haven't made them before. We don't need that. that this is a different piece of ephemera. So I just kind of went through the whole bin, and other than these little small things, I don't really see anything we would play with. So we need to decide what we're doing here. Maybe I actually get some handwriting and not use his piece. His piece is fine, but I think I would like some of my own antique handwritten document back there. So let me find a piece of that quick. Like I have a little bit, and I know this is already cut square, but what if we kind of layered that back there? There's probably a bigger piece hiding somewhere, but I cut that one up for collage last week. If I need a bigger one, I'll just get it, but also ledger on this one, because it's like a stock certificate. Maybe we put ledger back there. I don't really want to cover up the green border, but maybe if I put this piece of ledger back there. Let's do it. We can't hem and haw all night. So maybe if I put, it's got handwriting. I'm going to create a straight edge there, but I do want to keep the little border that's already existing on this paper. And then from there, do I want mushrooms, like more botanical elements, or do I want, like maybe if we did the toxic mushrooms? Maybe we do toxic mushrooms. I don't know. Well, let me play with that for a minute. What else do I have in the little printed ephemera? I think we're going to do toxic mushrooms. I need something else in this collage, but I don't know what. I need something. I almost like it, but it's not long enough. What if we do one of these long things? New and new. Well, there's these long ones. I don't know what it says, but okay. Well, I like the toxic mushrooms, and that's as far as we got. Maybe I just need to be okay with. I want the mushrooms to be bigger, is the problem. I want them to be bigger. All right, we're going to glue it. I'm just going to leave it. We'll figure it out later. The only other thing I really thought about is the typography. And I don't know how we're going to get the mushroom and the typography on there. Like, if I cover up some of that, then I create this weird little angle right here. And I'm trying to avoid it, but there's no other way. So this is how collaging works when I'm off camera. You just have to play with it and play with it till you get it. Anyway, let's do toxic mushrooms and let's ink it and see how we feel about it after it's inked. So I think we need to also ink our pocket and the whole page. And this paper inks up really beautifully. I love the parchment paper. You know, we're having digital printables. that I created. And some of them this time are printed on parchment, and some of them are printed on other specialty papers that I'm not going to tell you guys about yet. But I printed some things I think you guys are going to love on some, on some mediums that I think you guys are going to love. So let's bring this ink down just a little bit. And let me ink right in through here. Sorry, you couldn't see. Inking right in through here because I know we're gonna use that as a pocket. Okay, it's inked. I like it better inked. The only thing is you should be inking both sides of your pages when you do them. This one I'm just gonna leave for writing space, and I might add a little more decoration to it, but because your pages all turn, you gotta ink both sides. Okay, and I do like to ink a little bit where the holes are. Preferably not super messy, but we get what we get. Okay, let's glue this down, and this, I think my mushrooms are just too small. I don't want them there. I don't know where I want them. Okay, and here's my little toxic. This is one of those ones I'm just not giving up on. I'm not willing to give up on him. Okay, so what about a person? What if we put a person and I have this other pack of ephemera? Is this different or is this the same? This is the same. It just has different stuff in the front. You know how you like packs them that way? We have a sticker book. What does a sticker book look like? It has people pictures, hats, words. We've got wallpaper scraps. I don't think we want wallpaper scraps. What about a person or people? I think people on the handwriting side is kind of what I'm missing. So it doesn't look like we're going to use this. I will keep these little guys out right here, but the rest of it can kind of get piled back up. The rest of this needs a bin. Okay, let's look at a person or people. Like if we did these little boys over here, I think I will like it better. It's needing something else. Maybe their legs get cut off. I'm not sure. But something like that. I love those little boys, but we have these little people. I think the toxic mushroom with the little mischievous boys looks good. Let's go with that. I didn't know there was actual little photos in here. This would make a cute pocket. Look at this one. I have a photo very similar to this where all the kids are dressed up for Halloween. I have some of these very similar photos. These ones all are holding their carved pumpkins. So these would make really great, just a little journal card or a pocket all by itself. Cool. I didn't know those were in there. I will leave them in there, but try to remember that they are in there. I can get them back in. Yeah, I did not realize Tim Holt's little people things came with that. Cool. I'm going to use the boys after all of that. Let's use the boys. So maybe there's this weird little angle right here where if I would have torn my paper better, but I'm just going to do it. I fussed around enough and I'm just going to do it. So let's glue this down first. And glue stick would have been a better idea so I could move it, but we're just doing it. And I'm just going to put him where I want him. Okay. And then that's going to kind of go over it. And then I have this weird little place right here. I mean, I know the toxic is going there, but I just have this weird little bottom section. I think what's bothering me is I just need something to cover it. And maybe this is a place where I can have this black lace finally. I think it might be. And then my little boys. Okay. Let's do it. At some point, we really just have to glue things. And then typically it comes out looking gorgeous anyway. I mean, you know, not that I'm bragging, but I'm just saying. I think we fuss, all of us do this. We fuss and fuss, trying to get something to look a certain way, or we're worried in our mind that, you know, it doesn't quite look right, or whatever the case may be. But then by the time you're done, it looks great. Maybe this one won't turn out that way, but I'm hoping it will. I don't want the weird angles, but the toxic is going to go right here, and it's going to cover quite a bit, so I can kind of give those mushrooms a little bit of space. Okay, so let's glue this. This is Antique Ledger from, I think, 1820, and it's French. And it's one of my favorites. I don't have too terribly much of it left. I think we're just going to leave it up there. I'm going to go with that because that's where it's at. Okay. Now this side, do I want this ledger around it? I do not. Okay. So let me cut this piece off quick. Try to save a little bit of it. There's not too terribly much to save there, but we'll save it. It's on really interesting, thick rag paper. So those can go up there. And then we need to glue our, we didn't ink our people or our little toxic. So let's do that. So I think this is the last page that I'm going to do with you guys tonight. I might keep working if you guys want to stay, but I don't want to make it a super big marathon because last week when I did that, I have a call at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow for, well, I have a call at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I can't, you can't stay up super late, and I still need to ship some people's things tonight, an invoice. So I'm just seeing. I don't want to cover up the whole thing, and I don't want my glue to dry. So let's put the people, well, let's put the toxic on first, and then we'll put the people. So maybe something else after this, but if you guys need to go, then I will see you in the morning. I hate how inky my fingers are, and then every time there's glue, you kind of smear it. So then they will go there. Need it just a little bit straighter. It's actually kind of cute. Maybe I'll put a little something right here. There's some little circles in this ephemera, but I think it's kind of cute. It's like the boys were kind of being mischievous with mushrooms. I don't know. I probably didn't need to glue them all. I don't know where they're going yet. I guess they're going there. I would like their feet to stay on though and not cut off their toes. Cute. Very cute. Okay, so it does need one little thing right there. And I think there are some circles, like little label circles or something that we can kind of put there. Or a 31 or a something. I mean, that looks good too. Something up there in that little section. Or maybe curious, but we already have a word, so I think we'll stay away from words. Where are the rest of the little circles? There's poison. I don't know if I wanted poison, but I just put mushrooms, so maybe we put the poison there. It's kind of cute. You like it, Wendy? See, I was just not happy with the little corners, and there's always a solution, like I said. At some point you do have to start gluing stuff, and then if you need to add, you just add. There's this little poison too, but that poison is better. I mean, there's even like little mushrooms. There's all kinds of things. Stick up there. And if you guys need more ephemera, because I had to make 50 kits, so the ephemera that I have was split out amongst 50 kits. If you need more ephemera, Simon Says Stamp has the Halloween ephemera. Sometimes Joann's will have Halloween ephemera from Tim Holtz. There are lots of printable digitals on Etsy that have just Halloween kind of themed ephemera. So this is what we have to choose from. I love the bigger butterfly, but he's green and our border up there is green. So if he was this color, he'd be fine. And I might find just a bigger orange butterfly and stick there because I like the butterfly. The poison is just, I don't know. We're just going to go with the butterfly, but I think I want a bigger butterfly. So I have butterflies in the other room that are that color. Unless I happen to have printed one somewhere. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get a butterfly from the other room because I have them in that orange color. And they're just stickers. So I think I can just go get a butterfly from there. I need to remember to use all of these things that I printed. This ephemera would be cute in that pocket. When I put things in this pocket, this ephemera would be cute. And this is Graphics Fairy. But stuff decorated with that sheet would be super cute in there. I'm just flipping through my printed things, looking to see if I happen to print something with a butterfly. And it doesn't look like I did. So I will need to go get the butterfly sticker, but I'm going to put a butterfly like this right there. That's the plan. You like the 31? I want to do numbers for this journal though, because if you put the 31 and it's kind of like, what do they call them? There's certain word for the journals that have a number per page. And I don't want to commit this page to being the 31 for the person who buys the journal. You know what I mean? So I think the butterfly, because it's kind of mushrooms, I'm just going to do the butterfly. I mean, I get it, but the poison also looked good there. Yeah, I think this one actually looks better than the 31, and I like the shape better. But I want the color of this butterfly. So I'm going to find a butterfly and put it there. And that's going to be that for this guy. And then we'll make some ephemera for him. I just want to repunch this hole quick. And there's that. And so see, this is really strong and sturdy now. There's no way you're ripping through that plastic and the parchment paper. And we got bonus because it's on the other side too. So that's cool. I like that. And I'll get the butterfly, but for now, I'm just going to stick this one there to remind myself to go do that. Well, it's kind of, we can make ephemera for it. You love Graphics Fairy, so do I. We can make ephemera for this, or we can make another page. Where's that page? that I had this page. I love these. These are tiny. You don't know what you would do with those. Those are really tiny. I don't know. What do we do with these? Just use them as collage pieces? It doesn't really say what this was for. So it has a whole lot of poison stuff though. And I know I said toxic, but poison and toxic are two different things in my mind. I mean, I know they're the same, but I just don't want to go too like, you know, scary or whatever. What else do I have to play with over here? Not really a whole lot else that I pulled. So I need an orange butterfly and we can work on another page, I guess. I don't know. We can make ephemera. What do you guys want to do? Want to make ephemera or do you want to make another page? We're out of time for what we were normally scheduled for, but I like the things that we made so far. We made backgrounds and things. I'm going to work on those backgrounds in the morning. This page is so sturdy with all of this stuff on here. It is going to be a joy for whoever to write in. Obviously, I got glue back here, and I kind of wish I didn't do it, but I have a plan for this. I would like to stamp some little words or put something else down there. But anyway, we can work on the back later. But so far, we have those two. You just have to envision a big orange butterfly right there. And then the pocket stuffed with ephemera. You just have to imagine it. So I can stick some things back there, but you have to imagine it. So like that, and maybe botanicals. I don't know. You just have to imagine it. They're cute. I love those little boys. They're so like, their faces. Their faces are hilarious. Like, I think this was an actual picture, and look at how unhappy they look. They look like they just have like stiff upper lips or something. Anyway, let's just pull these out of there. Put that with that. I'm leaving the butterfly so I don't forget to get one. And let's work on this one. This is just book page on both sides. We can decorate it or we can put a pocket. I don't want every page to have a pocket, but I do want enough pockets for people to play with. So this one, and I haven't used any of the ephemera from our actual journal kit yet. I'm only using Tim Holtz things and stuff that is right here in front of me that's printed. We had these little foldable pockets. I think that folds over. I have not used her pockets before. But maybe, I don't want to use the skulls, but maybe if I do use the skull pocket, I'm just going to cover the skulls up. I'm not sure that I want skulls in this journal because I'm being a wuss about it all, but oh no, I left my glue open. Yeah, good luck working now. In Arizona, you really cannot leave it open. I'm trying to get the little glue clog out of it and not just push it down with the pin. But anyway, let's maybe think about putting one of these pockets on here. Kendall is getting together her pages and arranging them. I know, I am too. I haven't arranged mine yet. I really need to spend some time off camera inking all of my pages, punching all of my holes, and then putting them in order in the journal. Because right now I'm adding pockets and I don't necessarily, like, I don't want to end up with a pocket and a pocket. It's not the end of the world, but it's better to arrange your pages and have an idea of the order you want them before you start decorating, just so that you can, you know, maybe you have a page like this that doesn't have any pockets or anything mixed, you know, opposite of one that does have pages. Like these two, if my holes were on this side or vice versa, they could be next to each other in the journal because there's a pocket over here. I don't necessarily want 2 pages facing each other that neither has a pocket. I would like at least one pocket every spread. Do you know what I mean? So a spread is like 2 pages, the 2 pages next to each other. This would be like a spread. And you would have your holes in a normal journal. Your holes would be punched, you know, down both pages on this side. However, these 2 pages I chose to work on, they both went this way. This one had to be punched over here because this is the side that I glued and this is the side I left open. This one I just decided to punch over here. I could have punched it on this side, but I didn't. So anyway, they can't really be a spread like this the way I've punched them. But my point is I want one pocket with one that's non-pockety. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but that's that. Let's look at cutting out one of these pockets and maybe putting this pocket on this page. And I do need to be careful that I'm not like, you know, putting all of my stuff on one side of my page, all of my decorative stuff. I'm going to try to use this brown one with the skulls just to cover up the skulls, I guess. Kendall says she made a nice Halloween journals a few years ago. Awesome, Kendall. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to cover up the skulls. They're located in a spot on this pocket that I think will be okay to cut. And I think I haven't used these pockets, but I'm pretty sure this little triangle piece is so that you fold it over so that when you have the thumb hole right here that I'm about to cut out, I have to go super slow when cutting a circular object. I do not enjoy cutting circles, not by hand, not at all. I don't like them. I could have just thumb hole punched it, I guess, myself. But anyway, I'm pretty sure this triangle, when you fold it over and fold your pocket, which we're not making that kind of pocket on here, but that little triangle is so that when your thumb hole is showing, you don't have just white paper right there. I think fussy cutting is easier for me than cutting like a straight edge by hand or circles. I seem to be really good. My skill is being able to fussy cut little objects, but cutting straight or a circle, forget it. Can't do it. So there's that. And we have this other lacy pocket, which there's Tim Holtz paper that matches that exactly. So let's put together this pocket. I think it would be great if you had a scoreboard in here and you could score these so that they would fold really nice and perfectly. But I don't. So we're going to use our finger. Yeah, a scoreboard would be a great idea to fold these pockets. I never bring, I have a tiny little one. I should at least bring that one in here so that when I do have to fold something small like this, the folds are nice. And so we need to fold these over and that over. And this gets folded. I'm just going to fold it like this for right this second. So this goes like that. Do you get what the triangle is for now? Like it covers your little thumb hole right here so that it's not exposed, I guess. I don't know. I've never made her pockets before. I didn't fold it perfectly, I guess. Let me try with the bone folder. This is just 28-pound paper, so it's gusseted. So I think it goes like that. Okay, I get it. So other than my wonky fold, I think her pockets are great. Let's glue this pocket together. And honestly, I could have just like wrapped it around like this. It's a very small pocket on this page. This is a pretty big page. I might not want to actually do this on here, but my thought was, since it's a folded pocket, maybe you wrap it around and get 2 pockets out of it, but I don't know. Maybe we put it on a tag, like we take a repair. The size of it is getting me. It's too small for that page, unless you layer it with another object. But maybe we find a tag that it can go on and put the pocket on a tag. I think that's better than putting it on this page. This page is just really big. So we could put it on this repair tag. That's not terrible. And then we just decorate over these skulls. I don't know that we need all of this bulk, but let's go ahead and glue this down, I guess, this little flap, and see. Yep, Rhea, the cutesy traditional is exactly my goal, but I am mixing in the Tim Holtz stuff. As long as it's not like the spooky stuff or the gory stuff, I'm good with it. Like a little spooky is, I guess, okay, but I'm trying to do super cutesy. I guess I'm just going to make it the way that she has it designed. And I'm pretty sure these go like this so that it can be a gusset. I don't think you need a ton, but we did it. I do wish I would have inked the little slot, but hopefully I can still do it. So now we have to come up with some decoration for the little skull parts. And then from my fold, I just didn't quite get it lined up. I need to go close my door too. I leave my door open because the air conditioning is better, the airflow is better. I need to go close my door real quick. Okie dokie. All right. Let's put this on a tag. I know we ended up making a tag and not a page so far, but let's put this on a tag. I mean, any bigger focal point that stretches across there will work. I mean, that's too big, but something like that. Before I do put it on my tag, I want to ink my tag. Somewhere I have some coffee dyed ones of these. I don't know where that is at the moment. So let's just kind of faux coffee dye this and the string. I am going to leave the string on for the moment. I got gorgeous red and black collection, ink and page. Yeah, that sounds beautiful. Yes, I understand the Halloween stuff, the spooky stuff, whatever. Like, I do have to be in the mood to make it also. I normally do make Halloween journals, but mine always lean more towards fall than Halloween, to be honest. But this year I really wanted to play with the Tim Holtz stuff. It's the first time I've ever got it. So I just really was inspired to play with it. So that's kind of, and then I found that bingo card and the first bingo card, and I was like, okay, well, we have to do something with it. These bingo cards, they have to be journal covers. I just, in my mind, that's what they needed to be. So that's kind of how the kit came about for this year. Now, you know, I don't know that we'll always have a Halloween kit. We might, you know, do something a little different, but next year, whatever. But for now, so it's a little inked. Let's go ahead and ink the back, and then I'm going to ink the string, and then we're going to call it good. And this is just a pre-made tag, a pre-whatever tag, prefab tag. And then to ink the string, like, you literally just ink it. Normally your page stays, but I'm just taking the white out of it. Okay, that's fine. Like, I want to do just a straight fall journal. I don't know that we are going to have time to fit it in this year, but I want to do it. I'm going to glue this on, I think, and then decorate it. And I kind of framing it out. See how it's not quite the perfect size for this tag, but the tag is just slightly bigger. I'm going to leave that. And I know, you know, you could make it a double pocket. I'm not going to even bother doing that either. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I kind of don't like the little piece folded, the little triangle piece. I kind of don't like it because you really cannot see where your thumb hole is. I guess it also covers when you pull things in and out, but I don't know. Let's glue this on. Let's glue this on. I guess we're just going to glue the whole thing, aren't we? Then at least I don't have to worry about decorating the back and covering the skulls up. So hopefully, yes, you're still in camera. I was worried. So I kind of wanted it even. Hopefully, it's crooked, but hopefully it's somewhat even. Not at all. I'm trying to tug it. Okay. It's on. And then I don't think that's going to fit in there, but yeah, it's not. I need something smaller to fit in there, but I don't have anything at the moment. Will this guy fit in there? So he fits in there. Not that I'm going to leave him in there, but he's there for now. What else do I have in this pile in front of me that we can put on that? I guess you guys cannot see this pile. Sorry about that. I mean, just layering something there. We want to put this eyeball on here somewhere. Physician and surgeon and the druggist. The little business card says physician and surgeon, and then we can put the little eyeball and something else. I don't know. It's kind of weird looking. I don't really love the eyeball. I keep trying to use it every time because I'm like, if I just use it, then it's done and over with, and then I can use something else that I want to use next time. But the skulls still show with her there. Otherwise, she would be cute. I mean, maybe I could just ink over the skull and make him less noticeable. At least to some degree. I mean, you can still see it, but we just need something there. And I don't think there's anything in this pile that is going to go there. You can kind of still see them. I mean, if you put something else like book page or something there. I have another black lace piece. I like those. This is Black Crow brand. I really like that for there, but it needs something else. So both of those will work size-wise. But we need something else. Okay. Now you guys get why I need the bin. Okay. I'm just checking the printed ephemera. There's this little owl right here. He almost can go there. Let me cut him out quick, and let me, for the love of something, remember to put my glue pin in today. Goodness. Okay. Let me cut this owl out quick. And then we are going to call it quits. I'm just going to finish this one. I guess we will not get to that other page today. I mean, seriously, never accomplish what I think I'm going to accomplish, and it's just hard. I definitely craft faster off camera. However, I enjoy it much more with you guys all here with me. I wish I could like actually read chat as it comes in instead of like having to look over and try to catch up every, 5 minutes or something. 3 minutes, I don't know how often, but again, this has little rounded corners. I will ink it, but it kind of could go there. Does it look strange? I don't know if it looks strange. It kind of looks strange. What about that in like, I know it has a number, so some other little word saying or something. Flat flower spray. Maybe. Thank you for joining, Wendy. I appreciate it. It's always more fun. Piece of embossed papers, that would be good too. I'm just trying to keep it really flat because it has to go in a pocket and it has a pocket on it, So like there's the layer of the tag, there's the layer of whatever's in the pocket, there's the layer of the pocket, there's the layer on the pocket. It gets really, really thick. So I'm trying to decorate it with just something flat. I do need one more piece though. This is just like a blank label. I mean, you could definitely do it, but what else is there? I kind of want something at an angle or something like that. I don't know if I want wicked in my journal. Well, I need another piece. It always, these things, I just found another one that said shake well before using. I don't know how shake well before using is Halloween. How is that Halloween? For external use only. See, I don't know what I will do with those. Well, maybe a postage stamp, like a brown postage stamp. Let me look at a brown postage stamp quick. I have a book of postage stamps somewhere. This book of brown postage, or maybe an orange one. Goes with potions. Oh, I see. I see. Let's look and see what we have here. We have black and white ones, and we have brown and white ones. I think I want a brown one, but let me also look at orange. There's lots of greens. Lots and lots of greens. I think I want orange. And the orange ones, maybe I only want orange because I have that orange card in there, but I don't know. That's the problem with sticking something there, is it throws my brain off. I'm going to use this one, I think. That's fine. I have decided that I like to ink these on the edge because they are a little white. And then I also have decided that instead of a glue stick on these, I like to put art glitter. And I know art glitter kind of bumps it up, but I don't know if you guys have used, I guess he's not glued down yet, but if he was glued down, that would be good right now. You could make him another little pocket. And so let's just do that. I know he's not backed to anything, but let's make him another little pocket. So I'm only going to glue 3 sides of him, and I'm going to use him as a little ticket pocket. And I know I said I was trying to keep it thin, but I just kind of went away from that. We're going to stick him on. And I'm going to just leave him just like that. Hopefully my head is not in camera. And I've kind of puckered him a little bit, just ever so slightly. By puckering, just push your sides in as your glue is wet, just a tiny little bit to give yourself a little gap right there. So there's that. Oh, I'm like, where did my stamp go? It was stuck to you. Yeah, that's where it was. It was stuck to you. And I'm going to stick this down here. The reason being is I'm going to stick a little orange ticket or some kind of little ticket in there. I just saw the ticket book in the bag where the stamp book was. So this guy right here. So I really, really like this idea. The only thing that I wish you made is a tag book. Tim, if you're watching my videos, because, I know that, you love my channel and watch my videos. Could you please make me a tag book, like the ticket book, where, there's all kinds of cute little tickets in here that you just kind of like punch out? Can you make me one with the shipping tags and all the cute little tags? I would love a tag book. So I'm kidding. He does not watch my videos at all. But let's find a tag or a little ticket to put in this little pocket. The 5 cents is cute. We could just go with the 5 cents. Or the rides only. I don't know. But see this little ticket book? It's super cute. So how come we can't have a tag book? I know he can. He can make everything. Let's try to see what fits in here. Let's try this little 16. But I love having these little books because they're perfect for, certain little spots in journals, or like right now to stuff in that little tiny pocket. It's great. The stamps that are super they're right there where you can just use them. They're at hand. You don't have to go dig through a bin or whatever. They just flip through a book. They're great. So that can kind of tuck in there. So something like that. You could also put like a little postage stamp or something in this little square and put a postage cancel over it. But anyway, something like that. I don't know that I'm leaving this in there, but yeah. See, I'm not used to having the back, that little floppy back thing back there. I probably should have just cut it off, but I guess it kind of does, having the pocket kind of folded over, it kind of makes it more sturdy. But anyway, let's just leave that like that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's how it came out. Can you see this little skull right here? Yes. But am I going to obsess about it? No. Anyway, that's that. And we could put little charms eventually, even little paper charms. Like if you guys have, when you're done using your little packet of ephemera, if you guys have things like these that you didn't use, just back them onto each other and close them on your strings. And then it's like a little charm on your strings. You don't even have to close it like a lot of people would just put it right here like I started doing. Put it on the very bottom like this, right on your strings. I actually ended up liking it up here, or putting a wax seal up here to where you have some of your strings kind of left hanging out of the bottom. I'm not really doing a good job of doing that for you guys, but if you make wax seals, try putting little wax seals on your strings like this, and then the little wax seal will dangle down as like a little charm. Or you can dangle it out the top of your journal and like over the edge. Do you know what I mean? because I often don't use these tiny little pieces. So I started doing that. But wax seals, I might have to get out the black wax seals and start putting some of them on there. I'm going a little more spooky than I envisioned myself going, but I'm going to have 3 journals. So one can be more spooky. The other one's going to be normal. I don't know. Anyway, let me show you quickly up close what we did, and then I will wrap up. I didn't show the papers. Do you guys want to see the papers? I'm just going to leave all of that mess right here. Do you guys want to see the papers quick? You're in the zone. Kendall, I always overthink. I overthink everything. Figuring out what's going to work and the art of it. Yes, yes, that is the art of it. The stamp book is awesome. It's from Tim Holtz. Okay, let me show you closely. It doesn't feel like we did anything, but we made this owl page, which I think is super cute. And we made this little boy pocket thing. And I like it. And then I need to go find the butterfly for it. I will go find that. This, we did not do anything on. I think I was supposed to stick a pocket on this side because I forgot that the double fold was there. I'll just put paper there. Like, where is it? I guess you guys will see me do it, but like just some handwritten like bit of paper right there would be cool too. So I'll just put that there to kind of cover up my double fold line because I refolded my paper. But anyway, we did those two. I really love them. I think they're super cute. And we did this little tag pocket. And we need to make something to go in there. But that's what we did so far for our journal, which was basically nothing. But here's the papers we did. So there's this one. I mean, you guys basically saw this. It needs more green. I may put some green spray or something. It just needs more green. Maybe I'll find a darker green and restamp. There's this one, which I think I showed you all of these, but they're dry now. So can you guys see the gold? You probably cannot, but there's cute gold spray all over it. This one, I love this. We're going to have to do something cute with this one. I'm thinking just like tags, but we'll see. These ones all got dried. So I think they're going to make good pages and backgrounds. We'll have to stamp and emboss on this tomorrow. You can't really stamp on Braille because it's too bumpy, but this one, these two will probably just be tags or pockets, probably pockets. This one, I can probably take a page. Maybe I'll make 2 small pages. I don't know. But anyway, there's that. There's the mustardy one. And this kind of dried on this paper. See how it's like shiny and it's actually dimensional? I don't know why it did it on this paper. It didn't absorb the ink at all. It literally dried on the surface, almost like you embossed it. It was very, very strange. And the purple looks navy blue now. Here's this guy. He kind of looks like vomit, but keep in mind, he will be cut smaller and he will have a stamped background also in addition to the ink background. And then we'll layer some things, some decorative elements on him. He came out really nice. This is the back side. So the ink, the oxide stays to one side of your paper and the inky color goes through to the other side. The oxidation part, the whitish part, will always stay on the top layer of your paper. But if you leave big drops, you also get the back side. And then there's this one. This is the one that we let run. I think he's my favorite. I love the way this turned out. And that was just the same color going through. Fun. Very fun. The backs are a surprise. So that's what we have. These, I think we might be able to get 4 small pages. Or maybe just 2 and some tag backgrounds. But anyway, we have a good start for a whole bunch of things. We just need to work on finishing things at this point. Because we have master boards that we cut up and we have all of this and we have all of our other mixed media things. So I have a big head start on putting this journal together. Okay, let me move those over there. We can play with them in the morning. I will start playing with them first thing in the morning. You like the runny one? I like them all. And this, This is how we're going to end the night again. Super gross. Okay, let me flip this camera back around. I will say my good nights to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And let's see, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern time. I will get up at 6, well, 5, because I have to do my call at 6. And then Jackson Pollock. Not even close, but I do appreciate his spatters. That movie, The Accountant. Look at my hair standing straight up out of my head. Do you guys see it? Like, where is it? It's on right there. Look at my hair standing straight up. It's because we're doing Halloween spooky journals, so my hair is being Halloween spooky. I do appreciate his art, and the movie, The Accountant movie, with what's his name, Ben Affleck, where he's an accountant, and he has a stolen, or I guess it's not stolen, I don't know what it is. Somebody paid him for his services in the Jackson Pollock. It was a great movie. I love that movie. Good night, guys. I'll see you in the morning, bright and early for me, depending on what time zone you guys are in. But good night. I hope that you have a good Friday night. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoy spending Friday night with me, and it's a good end of your week. And then we get to craft tomorrow. So get out all of your crafting supplies. Plan to do something while you're watching. Plan to fussy cut. Plan to make some backgrounds. Plan to just stamp some things on fabric, or stamp some things on paper to tear out later. There's all kinds of things that you can do while you're like watching TV or watching me or whatever. You guys, I don't know if you all know, but you can watch YouTube on your TV, especially if you have like a smart TV that has the YouTube app or the Amazon Fire TV sticks. You can all watch YouTube on that, and you can watch the videos on your TV. And then if you have your cell phone or a tablet out, you can actually participate in chat through your phone or your tablet while watching on the big screen. So when I watch YouTube, and if I'm watching a live, I watch the picture on my TV, but I also have it open on my iPad or my iPhone, and then I can participate in chat. So if you guys didn't know that, that is kind of the best way to watch it, because you can sit and be comfortable and not have to stare at a tiny little screen. And, it's just better that way, I think. I mean, I'm on the big screen, which is terrible, but, I like to watch and be able to see close up on the TV too. So anyway, Brenda's doing it. Awesome. Awesome. Kendall's doing it. Yay. Helen's checking for an invoice. Helen, I promise, before I go to bed, you and several other people will get it. I'll get it done. I will ship in the morning. So if like Credence doesn't, Helen doesn't, I know their packages are here. But if you would check to see if you have an invoice, if you pay it tonight before you go to bed, I will ship it in the morning. My mailman comes 10:30, 11 o'clock my time, which I'm starting at 7. So my son can also open the door for him, or I could put the packages out before I start. But anyway, he'll come in the morning and he will pick up a huge number of packages. So if you pay tonight, if you already have an invoice, or if I invoice you tonight before I go to bed, if you pay it when you wake up, and if you don't, it's okay. I am trying to ship again on Monday, but I just don't know with getting him in there. So watch the same way. Yes, awesome. But there's so many people that don't know that, and they're like, you have to watch it on your phone to participate in chat. And you don't have to watch it on your phone, but you do have to have a way of typing, right? So iPads or phones or whatever kind of thing you have, Anyway, I just heard somebody recently say you have to watch it on the computer or something to participate. Like for my live sales, you have to watch it on the computer. You guys know that you don't, but a lot of people, they think that you do. So anyway, I was just saying it in case people didn't know. All right, guys, I'll let you go. I hope that you enjoyed what we did. I hope that you get ready to craft again in the morning. For those of you that can come back, I know not everyone can spend their Saturday, but anyway, thanks so much. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Friday night. It's something that I look forward to all week long, and you guys are wonderful. Thank you for donating your time here and hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys are getting in the mood to craft. All right. Happy Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.